I'm going to spend more time figuring out the best inferences, because I think very often in logical reasoning, the starting point is the critical point. And the best guys know what to start with. They just know that this is the giveaway. This is the best point to start with. Like 2 is to 3 is to 4, multiple of 9, multiple of 6, bam, 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 and then they go. The previous question we have DOMs, you know that 20 crores, this something goes on. It says, look, this is where I need to start off with. So this one, I'm going to read this out, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on saying, look, which constraint gives us something to work with, right? And then we'll start with that. That is a skill set you need to add. Right? A T tester was assigned to rate T's from 6 different locations. Wonderful job. I want to have that. Right? So Munnar, Wayanad, Ooty, Darjeeling, Assam, and Himachal. These teas were placed in 6 cups, numbered 1 to 6, not necessarily in the same order. Good. The tea taster was asked to rate these teas on the strength of their flavor on a scale of 1 to 10. He gave a unique integer to each tea. Some other information is given below. Cup 6 is Himachal. Beautiful. I like those things which are not negative constraint, which are positive constraint. What do I mean by that? Himachal is not in 3 or 5. It's a boring constraint. Still have 4 more possibilities to work with. Himachal, cup 6. Nail that in. Stick it in somewhere, so keep it aside. Tea from Ooty got the highest rating, but it was not in cup 3. Again, this is going to come of use later on, not the first step. The rating of tea in cup 3 was double the rating of the tea in cup 5. Only 2 cups got ratings in even numbers. Only 2 cups got ratings in even numbers. Cup 2 got the minimum rating, and this rating was an even number. Beautiful. Cup 2 got an even number. Which other cup got an even number? 3. So cups 2 and 3 have got even numbers because cup 3 has got double the rating in cup 5. So cups 2 and 3 have even numbers. Others do not have even numbers. Others have odd numbers. Right? Cup 5 has an odd number, double of which is what is in cup 3. This is very useful. Cup 5 and cup 3 are a pair. It's cup 5, cup 3. Right? Could be 1 and 2, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, 4 and 8, 5 and 10. Cup 5 is an odd number that we know. So we can eliminate 1, 2. Sorry, we can eliminate 2, 4. We can eliminate 4, 8. Cup 5 is not the least. The least is cup 2. And cup 2 is an even number. So we can eliminate 1, 2. So cup 5 and cup 3 should have ratings of either 3, 6 or of 5, 10. One of these two. And so simple inferences just based on that even number, odd number constraint. I'm going to go over it again. This is our starting point. You're given that cup 3 is twice of cup 5. So cup 5 should be 1 to 5. It cannot be 6. Right? So there's 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8, 5, 10. That's what we think of when we start this off. We know there are only 2 even numbers. One of those is cup 2. Other is cup 3. The cup 5 is not an even number. So we can eliminate the possibility 2 into 2, 4 and 4 into 2, 8. Those two are out. Cup 2 is the minimum and it is an even number. Effectively, there is no 1 in the system. 1 is the minimum as an odd number. So no cup has got a 1. So 1 is out of the system. So we're dealing with cup 5 and 3. It should be either 3, 6 or 5, 10. Only 2 possibilities. Can we narrow down any further from this? Which one? How? How?
And it's not cup 3.
Correct. Cup T from Ooty got the highest rating, but it was not in cup 3. So if cup 3 had been 10, that's obviously the highest. So cup 3 is not the highest. So cup 3 cannot have gotten 10. So cup 3 should be, even this possibility is out. And starting with that even number constraint is brilliant because they all work together. This constraint, this and this. These 3 work together wonderfully to narrow down cup 3 and 5. You put this also into the system, we get 3 and 5. So cup 3 and 5, we have them nailed on. Cup 2 is an even number. It could be 2, it could be 4, it could be 6. Right? Can it be 6? Can it be 4? What should it be? Cup 2 got the minimum rating and it's an even number. Cup 5 has got 3. Cup 2 should be that again. Again, we have done that. And so And tea in cup 3 got a higher rating than that in cup 1. And the rating of tea from Wayanad was more than the rating of tea from Munnar, but less than that from Assam. And so these look like further constraint going on, building on from there. So I'm going to fill in whatever we know so far. I'm going to skip the questions and go on to deriving the data part. And so what have we made? Some of the inferences that you have made already. You said we know only 2 cups have been given even numbers, and that we know that one of those is cup 3, other is cup 2. That's the first inference we made. Cup 2 and cup 3 are even. Cup 5 is not even. So cup 5 could have been 1, 3, or 5. It could not have been 1. It couldn't have been 5. So cup 5 has to be 3. This is x. This is 2x. We've already made this inference. Cups 2 and this reasoning we've already seen. Could be 1 and 2, 3 and 6, or 5 and 10. It cannot be 1 and 2. It cannot be 5 and 10. It should be 3 and 6. And so cups, if you take the cups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cup 5 has a rating of 3. Cup 3 has a rating of 6. Cup 2 has a rating of 2. This is where we stand, that part. Right? So, and 2 even numbers have already come into the system. The other 3 should be odd numbers. Odd numbers not including 1. Because 1 is out. So these 3 should be 5, 7, 9 in some order. 5, 7, and 9 in some order. Okay. Look at this. So now beyond this, we know that cup 1 is less than cup 3. Cup 1, the rating is less than cup 3. We have 5, 7, and 9 remaining. This has a rating of 6. This should be 5. And then we have 7 and 9 that need to sit here in some order. Obviously, the last constraint will give us some part there. Right? Cup 6 is Himachal, and Ooty has the highest rating. We have only 7 and 9 remaining. So cup 6 should be 7, and this should be 9, and this is Ooty. And so cup 6 should be 7, this is 9. We know the highest rating is Ooty. We also know that Himachal is in cup 6. So cup 6 should not have the highest rating. We have only 7 and 9 remaining. This should be 7, this should be 9. This is 9, this is Ooty, because Ooty has the highest rating. And so we've gone this far. We know that Assam greater than Wayanad greater than Munnar. A greater than W greater than M. So out of these 4, one of these is Darjeeling, and we know Assam greater than Wayanad greater than Munnar. Beyond this, let's go to the questions. What are the highest rating given? The highest was second highest rating given. Highest is 9, second highest is 7. What is the number of the cup that contained tea from Ooty? That is cup 4. The highest rating was given to this. Highest rating was 9, which is cup 4, the missing cup. The tea from Munnar did not get the minimum rating. What is the rating of the tea from Wayanad? We know that Assam greater than Wayanad greater than Munnar. Into this grid, we know Assam greater than Wayanad greater than Munnar. Munnar was not the minimum. This is not Munnar. So it should be higher than the minimum, but there should be room for Assam and Wayanad on top of that. So it should be immediate 1 greater than 2. This should be Munnar. 1 step above that should be Wayanad. 1 step above that should be Assam. Or what is the rating of the tea from Wayanad? It should be 5. The cup containing teas from Wayanad and Ooty had consecutive numbers. Which of the following may be true? Wayanad and Ooty had consecutive numbers. We know that Assam greater than Wayanad greater than Munnar. So these 2 should have been one. Either this should have been Wayanad or this should have been Wayanad. Okay? So we know Assam greater than Wayanad greater than Munnar. So therefore we know that this cannot be Munnar. We don't have room for Assam above that. So this should have been Wayanad, and then we can find Munnar and Assam after that. So which of the following may be true? Cup 5 contains tea from Assam. Cup 5 contains tea from Wayanad. So the first one is not true. Cup 1 contains tea from Darjeeling. This is Wayanad. So Munnar should be this. Assam could be this or this. The cup 1 could be Darjeeling, that is possible. Tea from Wayanad got a rating of 6, not possible, it got a rating of 3. Tea from Darjeeling got the minimum rating, not possible, this was Munnar. The only one that is possible is this. Even this we cannot say is true for sure, because this could be Darjeeling and this could be Assam or the other way around. Both are possible, but it is a possibility. So statement 2 is possible, the other 3 are not possible. A high security research lab requires researchers to set a passkey sequence based on the scan of the 5 fingers of their left hands. When an employee first joins the lab, her fingers are scanned in an order of her choice. And then when she wants to re-enter the facility, she has to scan the 5 fingers in the same sequence. The lab authorities are considering some relaxations of the scan order requirements, since it is observed that some employees often get locked out because they forget the sequence. The lab has decided to allow a variation in the sequence of scans of the 5 fingers, so that at most 2 scans out of 5 are out of place. For example, if the original sequence is TIMRL, that is thumb, index, middle, ring, and little finger, then TLMRI is also allowed. TMRLI is not allowed. Very interesting constraint here. If you have, let's get this. If you start off with TIMRL, then TLMRI is allowed. TMRLI is not allowed. T is in the right position. I is not. M is. R is. L is not. So these 2 don't work. The other 3 work. Between these 2, TIMRL, this is not in the right position. This is not in the right position. Nor is this. So this is not counted. This one will get counted because only 2 are in incorrect positions. Right? So it's a very wonderful set of constraints. Let's look at this first one. Question. The lab has decided to allow a variation in the sequence of the 5 fingers, so that at most 2 scans out of 5 are out of place. Right? For example, if the original were TIMRL, then TLMRI is allowed, but TMRLI is not. Right? So wonderful question. I'm going to do this step by step. Our original sequence is TIMRL. 2 of these are out of position. At most 2 are out of position. Is at most 2. Can we have a scenario where there's only 1 out of position? You have 1, then 1 more has to be out of position. And so at most 2 means exactly 2. Only 1 of those cannot be wrong. That much we know. That means effectively some 2 are interchanged. Nothing else is possible. And so how can we interchange something? We can have T interchanging with I, T with M, T with R, T with L, or we could have I, T, M, R, L, MI, TRL, RI, MTL, LI, MRP. If T is interchanging with anyone, T and I, T and M, T and R, T and L. You could have I and M, I and R, I and L. What do I mean by that? T, M, I, R, L, T, R, M, I, L, T, L, M, R, I. So T swapping places with one of the other 4, or I swapping places with one of the other 4. T and I swap, we've already counted. Or we could have a scenario where we have TI here, R, M, L, TI in the right place, L, R, N. Finally, we could have a scenario which is TI, M, L, R. Just going step by step. These 2 can be swapped, these 2. T and I, T and M, T and R, T and L. I and M, I and R, I and L. M and R, M and L, R and L. Or 10 ways of swapping this out are possible. The other way of thinking about it very mathematically. How do we do this? I mean, you might not have done the topic on permutation, combination, or counting. But the quick fire way of thinking about this, 5 slots, select 2, 5 C2. And one catch here, how many different sequences are allowed for any given person's original scan? These 10 plus the original one, 11. get the answer as 5C2, 10, and then simplify and mark 10. That doesn't cut it. You need to be very careful. Detail matters a lot. Quite a large number of students, they feel that they've nailed an exam, then come back and get fairly poor percentile, mainly because of errors like this. You finish this, you compute everything, you write 10, you mark 10, you're very confident, but it's wrong. Question doesn't say how many newer variants are allowed, just how many original sequences are possible, how many different sequences can get you through. Answer is 11, not 10. The original one and the 10 new variants that will still get you through. So be very careful about the detail. They're being very careful with the wording. It said how many different sequences of scans are allowed for any given person's original scan. How many different sequences are allowed? Not how many new variants are possible. Right? So 10 new variants, the original is also allowed, 11 total. Right? So the quick fire way of thinking about is 5C2, 10, 5 into 4 by 2, 10, plus 1, 11. The other way, the more conventional method, list everything down and then count them. The lab has decided to allow variations of the original sequence, so that the input of the scanned sequence of 5 fingers is allowed to vary from the original sequence by 1 place for any of the fingers. Thus, for example, TIMRL is the original sequence, then ITRML is allowed. So we have TIMRL, ITRML is allowed. I mean, these two have been swapped. These two have been swapped. But LIMRT is not allowed. LIMRT. L cannot go to the first slot. Any given finger can move 1 position, either before or after. 1 position to the left or right, earlier or later. That's it. Right? But there's a beautiful, even this example they have given, they've told us that these two can be swapped and these two can be swapped. Once again, key point to think of here is you're effectively only swapping. If you change the slots of 3 letters, then all of them cannot be only 1 position apart. We say I'm going to mix up T, I, and M. One of those will go further away. Either T will go to M position or M will come to T's position. Not possible. We're effectively thinking only of swaps, nothing more than that. Right? So in all of these counting questions, make sure you have a structure the way you're counting. The way I would look at it is I would think of this and said 1 pair being swapped, 2 pairs being swapped. 3 pairs being swapped is not possible. There are only 5 here. And so let's build on this. 1 pair being swapped. Suppose your original sequence is TIMRL. Remember now, the pair that is being swapped, they have to be adjacent letters and consecutive letters. So you can take off T and I and M and R and L. 4 possibilities. Nothing more. You exchange T and I. Instead of TIMRL, you have ITMRL. Or you exchange I and M, you have TMIRL. Or TIRML, TIMLR. 4 possibilities. You can swap positions 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. Right? Quite simple. 4 variants possible where you're swapping only 1 pair of letters. Now let's build on this. Say, look, we're not pairing only 1 pair, we're pairing 2. So you have TIMRL. You can swap these 2 and these 2. That is 1 possibility. Another possibility is from TIMRL, you can swap these 2 and these 2. 2 possibilities. Or TIMRL, leave out T, you can swap these 2 and these 2. 3 possibilities totally. You take 1 and 2, you can take 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. If you leave out 1, you can take 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So 4 possibilities originally with only 1 swap possible. 3 additional possibilities, adding up to 7 possibilities. But remember, these are 7 new possibilities. The answer is 8. How many different sequences are allowed for any given person's original scan? The original scan and 4 variants plus 3 variants, 8 total. And how many are allowed totally? There will be 8. And the way we are breaking it, only swaps are allowed. You can think of only 1 pair being swapped or 2 pairs being swapped. Then we figure out both and then we know. Now we complicate this even further. We say has now decided to require 6 scans in the pass sequence. So 5 fingers that go in, 5 different letters. On top of that, we have another finger, additionally. So out of these 5, 1 repeats. So one possible sequence would be TIMTRL. So the thumb repeats, it comes twice instead of just once. So we have thumb, index, middle finger, thumb, ring finger, little finger. TIMTRL. So there are 6 in the sequence now. Suppose the lab allows a variation of the original sequence, where at most 2 scans are out of place. As long as the finger originally scanned twice is scanned twice, and the other fingers are scanned once, how many different sequences are possible? Exactly like question number 1, but instead of TIMRL, we have TIMTRL. An extra letter. So how do we do this? No, simplify this, not do it very rigorously by listing it out. TIMTRL. You have to select some 2 to swap. You can do 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 6. 5 possibilities. You can do 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 2 and 5, 2 and 6. 4 possibilities. 3 and 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. 3 possibilities. 4, 5, 4, 6. 2 possibilities. 5 and 6, 1 possibility. 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, 12, 14, 15, plus our original sequence, 16. We just have to swap. It's effectively selecting 2 out of these 6. Some 2. Select some 2. In how many ways can that be done? 15. The mathematical way of doing this, 6C2. It's a catch here. What is the catch? What are we missing here? What is the mistake that we're doing here? Sorry? The thumb and thumb swap should not be counted. If you take this and put it here, this and put it here, by this method we'll end up counting that. We should not be counting that. So it is 15 plus 1 minus 1. 15 scans total. Wonderful question because there's a repetition there. Your A, B, C, D, E, F, what you're doing is right. But if you have TIMTRL, then one particular swap which we end up counting is the T position in position 1 and in 4. We swap that, it's effectively the same sequence. And so T and T being swapped out is effectively the same sequence as what we started originally. So it is not a new sequence. So it is 15 minus 1 plus 1. Why minus 1? Because T and T swap, we end up counting it. We shouldn't count it. Why plus 1? Because we need to count the original sequence, TIMTRL. So totally there are 15, not 16. So be very careful about that one repetition. Last one, same sequence, same TIMTRL to begin with. The same panda, we can swap out. Each one can move 1 position to the left or right. It's very similar to question number 2. Right? So TIMTRL is what we have. Any sequence where only 1 slot is pushed out will get counted, but not more than 1. So TIMTRL. Again, same method. We're going to count out everything where there's only 1 slot, 1 pair of letters being swapped, and then 2, and then 3. 1 pair of letters being swapped. We start with TIMTRL. You could have 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6. 5 possibilities overall. These 2 get swapped. These 2 get swapped. These 2, these 2, these 2, these 2, and these 2. 5 different possibilities where there's only 1 swap involved. So we have the approach very similar to the previous one. We just swap out the first 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6. We could have 2 pairs swapped, in which case we could have, we take out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 4 and 5. 1 and 2 and 5 and 6. Or we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 and 3, 4 and 5. 2 and 3, 5 and 6. 2 more possibilities. Or you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could have 2 and 3 left out. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. Leaving out 2 also. 3, 4, 5, 6. With 2 being swapped out, 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6 possibilities only. With only 1 being swapped out, we have 5 possibilities. You could have 3 pairs being swapped out. So you're starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 2 can be swapped, these 2 can be swapped, these 2 can be swapped. That is 1 possibility. The total number of possibilities is 5 plus 6 plus 1. Only one pair swapped, two pairs swapped, three pairs swapped. So if you add these three, 5 plus 6, 11 plus 1, 12. These are 12 new possibilities we have, apart from the original one that we originally had. 12 plus 1, 13 possibilities. Again, it's a tricky question. This is a kind of question which is better left alone, mainly because you have to continuously worry about double counts. Have I already counted this? Have I accounted for this? Am I keeping in mind the original possibility? The kind of thing where you can spend a lot of time, think all four are right, and maybe one will be right, other three could be wrong. Be very careful while counting. So probably better to stay away from an exam point of view. But doable question. Know the method, know the idea. Still very doable, but not more risky. You can get stuff wrong here. So if you know combinatorics, if you know permutation combination, this question is that little bit easier. That little bit. You can think of it in terms of 5C2, 6C2, and all that. So that makes life a little bit.
CAT 2018 DILR. This is from slot 1. Wonderful, wonderful, fabulous question. Fine. You're given. Let's read this. I'm going to assume you've read it. I'm going to assume you've tried it quite a bit. You need to I'm going to jump into the solving part. So if you're just seeing this for the first time, it's probably tricky. Take some time out. Try the set. You're given an n by n square matrix to be filled with numerals so that no two adjacent cells have the same numeral. Two cells are called adjacent if they touch each other horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Wonderful. So if I have a cell like this, something here would be adjacent, something here would be adjacent, something here would also be adjacent. A side in common or a vertex in common, then the cells are called adjacent. And the cell in the first or last row. So a cell in one of the four corners has three cells adjacent to it. That's correct. So if you're in this top left corner, you'll have the right, bottom, and diagonally down. A cell in the first or last row or column, which is not in the corner, has 5 cells adjacent to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any other cell has 8 cells adjacent to it. Wonderful. So very clearly defined as to what adjacent cells are. Oh, we're jumping into questions straight away. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 3 by 3 square matrix, 5 by 5, and then etc, etc, etc. I'm not going to read all the questions because we have not been given much of a solving grid. We need to jump into the questions and solve them one by one. And so let's do this. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 3 by 3 square matrix? So I'm going to fill numerals. I'm going to plump in 1, 2, 3, and so on. The best ways to start would be probably the 4 corner cells. Fine. So the corner cells should be all the same because from this corner cells, these 3 are common. These 3 are common. From these 3 are adjacent, not common. So for this cell, these are not adjacent. So they can all be the same number. So wonderful beginning. When vis-a-vis this, we could have some other variant where if you put this corner as 1, this could be 1, this could be 1. But then we would be able to squeeze in only 3 numerals. When three numbers with this, 3 cells with the same number. And so we want to have as many as possible, 4 works. Even before we go further, remember, anything that comes here can come only here. So there's an X here that can be only here. Nowhere else can we have an X. Because to this cell, all of these are adjacent. No two adjacent cells can have the same number. This is where X, everything has to be X. Everything else has to be different, not X, sorry. So I'm going to worry about this cell right at the end. The 4 corners, we put 1. And whatever we put here cannot come here, here, or here. It can come at best here. So this and this can go together and we can have a 4 right in the middle. So brilliant. So we could have 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, and a 4 in the middle. So with 4 cells, we can fill this. Right? So it looks like the minimum number of different numerals needed would be 4. But whenever we get answers like this, it's probably worthwhile to check, to just see if we can do it in fewer. Right? So how do we check that? So think about this. The middle cell has to be different. X. So if we were able to do it within 3, then the other 8 cells have to be filled with two numerals. Whatever's in this corner can go into this corner and into these two. But only in this combination do we get 4. 8 cells and 2 numerals. So we need to have 4 each. 5 is impossible. 4 each is impossible. So 3 is not possible. 4 works. We know 4 works, which is kind of making sure of that. It's a wonderful question. We're getting a hang of this. We can do this with 4 different numerals. Let's go on to the next one. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 5 by 5 square matrix? We work with a 3 by 3. That's easy. Now we filled out a 3 by 3. A 5 by 5, we can imagine this with a set of 3 by 3s. We know that if this were 1, I could have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 here. And this set of 9 squares, this set of 9 squares, it works beautifully. I could have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. These are non-adjacent cells, but near enough. So with this one here, these 3 are out, but it's finding close enough. If you put a 1 here, it will be a waste, so we'll stick it in here. So we could have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. What do we do next? That'll be interesting. The best ways for filling some numbers. What do we do next? I can fill this 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. All these could be same. And then this could be same. Just keeping them 2 cells apart, but keeping as many numerals, as many cells as possible with the same numeral. And so this gives us 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. We have 4, 4, 4, 4 here. Brilliant. We've managed this with 4 numerals. We don't even have to verify this because even for a 3 cross 3, we needed 4 numerals. We've already checked that out. So for a 5 cross 5 with 4 numerals, we can complete this grid pretty much entirely. And so this is just a 3 cross 3 repeated over. If you look at it, this set of 3 cross 3, and then this set of 3 cross 3, the 3 cross 3 right in the middle here. All of these are variants of the same theme. 4 corners with the same number, center number being different, and then 2 pairs outside of that. And so 4 numerals are sufficient to fill in a 5 cross 5. So the minimum number is 4. Suppose you're allowed to make one mistake. That is, one pair of adjacent cells can have the same numeral. What is the minimum number of different numerals required to fill a 5 cross 5 matrix? 5 cross 5 matrix without any errors is 4. And so with one error, maybe we can do it with 3. There's no 3 choice here. All numbers are 4 or more. It's 4. More importantly, this is jam-packed. Suppose we could have these two as same. That doesn't give us much leeway. We're using only 4 numerals. We know instinctively that with 3 numerals and 25 cells, even if one pair could be adjacent, give or take, we're talking about 24 cells broken across 3, 8, 8, 8. It is going to get crowded in some form here. So we simply cannot do it with just 3. With 4, it is possible. So this leeway of with one mistake does not really give us much. So without a mistake is 4. With just one mistake, it's still 4. The choices are friendly and the idea is good as well. Suppose that all the cells adjacent to any particular cell must have different numerals. What is the minimum number of different numerals needed to fill a 5 cross 5 square matrix? Wonderful. So they should have anything adjacent to a particular cell must have a different numeral. So I'm going to fill by putting the threadbare ones in place, thinking about different 3 cross 3s. And so 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1. So 9 different ones, they take their positions. Now we'll put 2s and 3s. Remember, around a cell, all 8 numbers should be different. I'm going to say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And think about this. This is already wrong because this 9 has a 1 here and a 1 here. Our original framework is incorrect. We cannot have 1 and 1 this close to each other. So this cell and this cell will have two numbers that are identical to each other. Around each cell, there should be 8 different numbers. All the cells adjacent to any particular cell must have different numerals. That means if you put something here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 8 should be different. Right? Straight away, the minimum should be 9. In any 3 cross 3, we should have 9 cells, 9 numbers. 4 is out. If we put this as 2, if we want whatever is around here, we should have as many, we should have different numbers occupying each cell. So all 8 should be different and they should be different from this number. And so 9 is the bare minimum. I'm not saying we can do it with 9. We cannot do it with 4. That much we know. Right? Now think about a framework. And so we cannot have ones this near, right? Because this cell will have both of these as common. So no cell can have the same number on 2 adjacent cells. So think about it. If I'm placing 1 digit somewhere, what are the closest the same digit can be kept at? If I have this as 1, this cannot be 1, this cannot be 1, this cannot be 1. That much is obvious. This cannot be 1, this cannot be 1. This cannot be 1 because for this both will be adjacent. This cannot be 1, this cannot be 1. Sorry. All of these are ruled out. If this cell were 1, all of these would be ruled out. I have to go this far or this far to accommodate the next one. So let us go that far and fill in a few ones. A 1, 1, 1, 1. A cell here will have only this one as common, no other one. This one will have only this one as common. This one will have only this one as common. This one will have only this one as common. Around each one is a set of cells that is not having any adjacency with any other one. Right? We have filled in ones, might as well fill in twos with the same idea sitting there. What do we mean by that? 2, 2, 2, 2. Again, so instead of a 3 cross 3, we are filling these on a 4 cross 4. We've done ones and twos. We're going to pick any one here and a 2 and fill the rest of the numbers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant. We filled this out. We need a minimum of 9. This is ruled out. We filled ones and twos well spaced out. We know that from a given number, 4 spaces out is good insurance. We've outlined that 4 cross 4 really well. Now we've filled all this nicely. Now, it seems like we don't need 25 because we've placed 4 ones and 4 twos. It is between 9 and 16. We've got 9. Can we do it with just 9? And so can we fill these numbers? So look at this square. This is like a Sudoku puzzle now. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8 need to be filled. Right? Think about it. Imagine I'm using the same idea for filling these. This number could be same as this number, 2 steps removed, 6. This could be same as this, 5. This could be 7 and 8. 5 here, 5 here. This could be 5. This could be 5. And so this is 6. This could be 6. This is 6. This could be 6. This is 4. This could be 4. This could be 3. So if you take any 3 cross 3, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you take the middle 3 cross 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any 3 cross 3 will have the numerals from 1 to 9 in some order, each coming only once. So we can do this with exactly 9 numbers. And wonderful, wonderful, wonderful question. Classically tough. We're just using the same pattern that we had used for the filling the first ones. Ones and twos we stuck in, and then we put around the 1 and then said every 4th cell is non-controversial. Things can fit in there and quite comfortably and as tightly as possible. So there is a pattern to filling the numbers there. We can fill the entire grid with numbers from 1 to 9. Each cell, all the cells surrounding it, adjacent to it, will have different digits. The condition is satisfied. ATM. An ATM dispenses exactly rupees 5,000 per withdrawal using 100 rupee, 100, 200 and 500 rupee notes. The ATM requires every customer to give her preference for one of the 3 denominations of notes. So customer walks in and says 100 rupees my preference. It then dispenses notes such that the number of notes the customer's preferred denomination exceeds the total number of notes of the other denomination. So if I've given 100 as my preferred thing, then some of these 2 notes will be less than number of notes of this type. Right? Wonderful. So very clear what we're trying to do. Everybody gets exactly 5,000. There are only 3 denominations, 100, 200, 500. The customer can give one preferred denomination. It could be 100 or 200 or 500. The number of notes of that denomination will be more than some of the other 2 put together. Right? There's not much beyond this, so we're going to discuss each of these questions based on what the question tells us. It's very vital. So it's not something where we solve a complete grid and write down the answers. We've understood the constraint. We're going to jump in. Those of you who have just seen the question, hit pause on this video. Try this question. Try all the questions. Then think about solving it. Then think about watching the video. This is not a newscast. Right? So you have to try this question before we jump in. Right? There are 4 questions following this. Key thing: 500 rupee note plus 200 rupee notes plus 100 rupee notes. So 500x plus 200y plus 100z is 5,000. So the 2 zeros go away. 5x plus 2y plus z equals 50. If we say 500 rupee note is the preferred one, then x is greater than y plus z. If 200 is the preferred one, then y is greater than x plus z. If 100 is the preferred one, z is greater than x plus 1. This depends on what the preferred note is. Fine. Wonderful. So let's jump to the questions and then see where they take us. In how many different ways can the ATM serve a customer who gives 500 rupee notes as her preference? 500 rupee note is the preference. So the number of 500 rupee notes should be greater than sum of the other 2. And now remember, this question does not say that the customer should get at least 1 note of each type. So every note can be just the preferred note. And everything is, there are 10 500 rupee notes. This is 0, this is 0. That will work. So all 10 could be 500 rupee notes. That's a preferred note. That means the number of 500 rupee notes is greater than sum of 200 plus 100 rupee notes. The total adds up to 5,000. We are good to go. So we know that 10, 0, 0 works. We're going to go step by step from there. Let's then assume we have 9 500 rupee notes. 9 500 rupee notes amount to 4,500. So we have 500 rupees remaining to be split among 200 rupee notes and 100 rupee notes. All of these 500 could be 100 rupee notes, which here this will be 0. Or I could have one of these, which here there will be 3 of these. 200 plus 3 into 100. Or 2 of this, which here there will be 1 of these. The total number of notes will be 5, 4 or 3. All of these are less than 9. So we could have 9, 0, 5, 9, 1, 3, 9, 2, 1. 3 different possibilities with 9 500 rupee notes. Right? Of course, after this we could have 8 500 rupee notes. So 8 500 rupee notes correspond to 4,000 rupees. That means we have 1,000 rupees remaining between 100 and 200. And so 100 rupee notes and 200 rupee notes amounting to 1,000 rupees totally. One extreme is we have 5 of these, 0 of these. The other extreme we have 10 of these, 0 of these. Could have 4 and 2, 3 and 4, 2, 400 and 6, 1 and 8. These are the possibilities, different possibilities. So 100 rupee notes and 200 rupee notes amounting to 1000. We could have 10 of these and 0 of these, 8 of these, 1 of these, 6 of this, 2 of this, 4 of this, 3 of this, 2 of these, 4 of these, 0 of these, 5 of this. I'm replacing 200 rupee notes with a 200 rupee note. These are all possibilities when there are 8 500 rupee notes. Fine. So now the total number of notes, this plus this is 10. So this is ruled out. The number of notes outside of the 500 rupee note should be less than 8, not even less or equal to, less than 8. So this is also out. This is also out. It adds up to 9 notes. It adds up to 8 notes. These 3 are possible. So let's fill that in. So I could have with 8, 8, 3, 4, 8, 4, 2, 8, 5, 0. I cannot have 8, 2, 6. That's not possible. Fine. So with 10, we have done a set of combinations. With 9, we have done. With 8, we have done. Let's go with 7. 7 different ways. 7 500 rupee notes gives us 3500 rupees. Remaining 1500 need to be dispensed with 100 rupee notes and 200 rupee notes. Fine. One extreme is to have 15 of these notes and 0 of these. Another extreme is to have 7 of these notes and 1 of this. 7 into 200 is 1400 plus 1. Even this extreme amounts to 8 notes. We know we need to have less than 7 notes, not even less or equal to, less than 7 notes. Or with 7 different notes, this is just not possible. 7 500 rupee notes, this is just not possible. That means with 6 or 5 or 4, it's not possible. Or the number of ways is just this. There are 7 different ways in which the ATM can serve a customer. 1 with 10 500 notes, 3 with 9 500 rupee notes, and 3 with 8 500 rupee notes. With 7 500 rupee notes or lower, it is impossible to distribute 5000 rupees with these conditions being satisfied. Let's go to the next one. ATM could serve only 10 customers with a stock of 50 500 rupee notes and a sufficient number of notes of other denominations. What is the maximum number of customers among these 10 who could have given 500 rupee notes of their preference? 500 rupee notes as their preference. So some have given 500 rupee notes as their preference. Now we already know that these are the possible combinations for 500 rupee notes as their preference. That means with 500 rupee notes as preference, I could either satisfy a customer with 10 notes, 9 notes, or 8 notes of the 500 rupee denomination. If this is the preference, then I need to have 10, 9, or 8 500 rupee notes. This is where it gets very interesting and simplified a lot. I want to have the maximum number of customers who could have been served who had put this as the preferred denomination. That means if I want to have many with this as the preferred denomination, the moment I have a preferred denomination, I should be serving the least number with that preferred denomination. So anytime someone puts 500 rupee note as a preferred denomination, I'll give them the combination with 8 500 rupee notes, either 8, 3 and 4, or 8, 4 and 2, or 8, 5 and 0. Something, but with just 8 500 rupee notes. That means anyone who has put 500 rupee note as a preferred denomination gets exactly 8 500 rupee notes. We have 50 500 rupee notes to start with, or we can service 50 by 8. 6 point something, 6 customers. We do not have enough 500 rupee notes for the 7th customer who says the preferred note is 500 rupee note. If your preference is 500 rupee note, we can give them 10, 9 or 8, but we would rather give 8 because we want to get as many people, satisfy as many people who have put preferred note as 500 as possible. So we would rather give 8. So keep giving 8 every time. That will take us to 48 500 rupee notes being given away, servicing 6 customers. More than that, with only 55 500 rupee notes is not possible. So maximum number of customers is 6. What is the maximum number of customers that the ATM can serve with a stock of 50 500 rupee notes and a sufficient number of notes of other denominations if all the customers are to be served with at most 20 notes per withdrawal? 50 500 rupee notes, sufficient number of notes of other denominations, We start with at most 20 numbers, notes per. So we have 50. So our 500 rupee note is our constraint. The others, there are sufficiently. You can imagine there are 1,100 rupee notes and 2,200 rupee notes available with us. And the 500 rupee notes is the one we're going to run short of. We have only 50 of those. So now we have got to say at most 20 notes per withdrawal and with as few 500 rupee notes as possible. If we achieve that, then we are brilliant. We are home and dry. And at most 20 notes and as few 500 rupee notes as possible, then we serve each customer with the minimum possible number of 500 rupee notes. That means we can stretch out our 500 rupee notes as much as possible. So let's say, obviously we cannot do it with 0 500 rupee notes because with 20 notes, if all 20 were 200 rupee notes, that will still amount only for 4,000 rupees. So let's say we have one 500 rupee note. That means this X plus this Y. They together amount for 4,500 rupees. The best case scenario to do it with the least number of notes would be to have lots of these. So make 22 of these and one of these. 22 of these goes to 4,400. One of these gives us another 100. But this means we have 1 plus 22 plus 1, 24 notes. That's not possible. With just one 500 rupee note, it is impossible to satisfy this criteria and give 5,000 rupees. Let's say there are two. So these two 500 rupee notes amount to 1,000. So we need to generate for the remaining 4,000 with 200 rupee notes and 100 rupee notes. If you have as few notes as possible, then we should have everything as 200 into 20. So two 500 rupee notes, 200 into 20, 0 100 rupee notes. That is a possibility. That is the best case scenario. But even here, 20 into 200 plus 2 into 500, there are 22 notes available here. We can have at most 20. This is also ruled out. Now let's go with 3. 3 500 rupee notes amount to 1,500 rupees. So we need to have 3,500 rupees remaining, satisfied with 200 rupee notes and 100 rupee notes. We'll have 17 of these and one of these. 17 into 200 is 3,400 plus 1, 3,500. 17 plus 1 is 18. 18 plus 3 is 21. Once again, funnily enough, this doesn't work greater than 20. So with 3 also, we cannot satisfy. So let's see if we can do it with 4. So 4 500 rupee notes gives us 2,000 rupees. We have 3,000 rupees remaining. That can be filled with 15 200 rupee notes. 15 plus 4 is 19. We have a winner. So using 4 500 rupee notes, we can satisfy this condition of being able to distribute 5,000 rupees with at most 20 notes per withdrawal. With 19 notes, we can do this. 4 into 500 plus 15 into 200 is 5,000. So with 4, we can satisfy this. We have a stock of 50 500 rupee notes. So 50 by 4 is 12 point something. So for up to 12 customers, we can satisfy this. Anytime a customer comes, give them 4 500 rupee notes and 15 200 rupee notes. Keep on doing this. This is the best case scenario to stretch out our 500 rupee notes. We can serve up to 12 customers using this strategy. We do not have enough 500 rupee notes for the 13th customer. What are the number of 500 rupee notes required to serve 50 customers with 500 rupee notes as their preference? And another 50 customers with 100 rupee notes as their preference. The total number of notes to be dispensed is the smallest possible. Total number of notes is the smallest. We're dispensing 5,000 rupees. The number of notes should be the smallest. What is the inference here? Total number of notes is the smallest possible. That means we need to have as many 500 rupee notes as possible, as few 100 rupee notes as possible. The more notes of the higher denomination, the fewer notes we will require. We want to serve 50 customers with 500 rupee notes as their preference. The guys with 500 rupee notes as their preference, satisfy them with only 500 rupee notes. So give them 10 500 rupee notes, they will be happy. their condition is satisfied, 5,000 rupees are delivered, and you're doing it in as few notes as possible. So these 50 customers will be serviced as 10, 0, 0. Now there are 50 customers who have to be served with 100 rupee notes as their preference. For them, we cannot deliver like this. We could have 100 rupee notes amounting to, we need to get to 5,000 rupees, 50 100 rupee notes, 0, 0. But that means there are 50 notes. That's useless. We need to replace this with 500 rupee notes in order to have as few notes as possible. And so let's say we replace 10 of them. So we can have 2 500 rupee notes, 0 200 rupee notes, and 40 100 rupee notes. 1000 plus 4000 is 5000. This is a possibility. The number of notes is lesser, right? But we still have 42 notes. This is only 2. This is 40. We can replace more. Every time we cut 5 here, we can add 1 here. So we can have 3 and 35. We can have 4 and 30. We can keep doing that till we get the best point. So 4, 30 works. 5, 25 works. 6, 20 works. 7, 15 works. 8, 10 works. 9, 5 does not work. 8, 10 will work. Or we could have a scenario where we give them 8 500 rupee notes and 10 100 rupee notes. The number of 100 rupee notes is greater than this plus this. That condition is satisfied. Total amount given is 5,000. This is the best case scenario because we have as few notes as possible. And so with 18 notes, we can do this. With 10 notes, we can do this. So we want to find how many rupees 500 rupee notes are required to serve. 500 rupee notes here are 10 rupee notes per person into 50, 500. Here again 50 people, 8 500 rupee notes per person, 8 into 50 is 400. 500 plus 400 equal to 900 customers can be satisfied keeping the above conditions in mind. Choice 4. First up, I didn't really get this set. It took me a while, but it's a wonderful set. A lot of fun solving this. Peacock is designated as the national bird of India. Is coded like this. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. So it matches word to word. This coding scheme has the following rules. The scheme is case insensitive. So there's no capital or small. If capital P is 5, small p is also 5. Maybe I shouldn't have selected P. Each letter has a unique code, which is a single digit from among 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if A is equal to say 7, then A will always be 7. A cannot be 7 or 9. Right? There are 26 letters mapped to 9 digits. Right? Each letter is mapped to a unique digit. Right? The digit 9 codes 2 letters. Every other digit codes 3 letters. Oh, wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way till 8. They code 3 letters each, accounting for 24 letters. 9 accounts for 2 letters plus 2, 26. The code for a word is constructed by arranging the digits corresponding to its letters in a non-decreasing sequence. Oh, wonderful. This is a very interesting criteria. So if you're told peacock is this, it doesn't mean that P is 5 and E is 6 and A is 8. It doesn't work like that. We write down all the numbers for peacock and then we arrange them in non-decreasing order, ascending order effectively, but with equal numbers put in together. So it is 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9. Right, wonderful. And then we answer a bunch of questions following that. Right, so let's think about this. The best place to start is going to be the short letters, short words. Is, as, the, of. Is and as probably wonderful places to start because both of them have S. Is 3, 5. AS is 5, 6. S is common. S is equal to 5. Or 5 is equal to S. Both ways you can write this. 5 is coded as S or S is coded as 5. And 5 could be S and 2 more letters. S can only be 5. Right? S is 3, 5. S is 5. 3 is I or I is 3. A is 6. 6 corresponds to A. can write it anywhere. 6 is A and 2 other letters. 3 is I and 2 other letters. Right? And then we go step by step, step by step. Fine. So first step we've attacked is and as. With that we get I, S and A. Wonderful, wonderful. We've got I, S and A. Right? Built from that, THE, the is also a good starting point. THE is 4, 5, 8 in some order. Right? Now think about this. We find a word which has either T and H or H and E or only T, only H, only E. We can go somewhere with that. Right? So think about whether we can tweak that in some form. Right? So off is OF, which is 7 and 9. National has an O in it. That could give us something. So work with that framework if you have not tried it so far. Off and national gives away a big deal. Off has an O, it is 7 and 9. National has 1, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 9. This does not have a 7 in it. And so if O were 7, it should have been 7, or O goes with 9, F goes with 7. 7 is F and 9 is O. Brilliant. This is very useful. Likewise with the and designated, you can make an inference. So, right? These three we've done. Right? The and designated. THE is 4, 5, 8. Designated has a T and an E. It has a 5 and an 8, but it does not have a 4, or 4 is equal to H. Brilliant. So we've got 4 is H, 5 is S, 3 is I, 6 is A. T and E are 5 and 8. Fine. So T and E are 5 and 8. Is there any other word that has T and E? And we can figure out how we can simplify that. This has a T and 2 E's. Fine. It has only 1 8, but it has 2 5s. Fine. Or we can say 8 is T and 5 is E. And so it has lots of 5s, but only 1 8. It has 2 E's. If E were 8, you would have had to have 2 E's. So T is 8 and 5 is E. 5 is S also and E also. 8 goes with T. Fine. O and F, we've already drawn the inference. 9 is O because there is no 7 in this number. 7 is F. Right? With THE, we had made the inference that 8 is T and E is 5. 5 is E. Brilliant. So we've computed this many different variants. I'm going to think about what else we can infer beyond whatever we've done so far. And step by step, we have BIRD going with 1, 3, 3, 4. I is 3, that goes off. B, D and R. 1, 3, 4. And so B, D and R, 1, 3, 4. There is something between BIRD in common with designated. That could be D, but still have B and R going. So we'll have to probably hold that off for a second. Right? Let's see what else we can infer. Right? T and E we have done. Right? T is 8 and E is 5. That much we have inferred. 6 is, 1 second. I'm just going to go back one step. Let's look at India. INDIA. We know I is 3. This is 1, 3, 3, 6, 6. I is 3, 3. We have NDA to be 1, 6, 6. A is 6. That is gone. N and D are 1 and 6. Fine. National is 1, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 9. That's a 1 and a 6. That doesn't work. N and D are 1 and 6. BIRD is 1, 3, 3, 4. There is a D sitting here in both of these. only 1 is common, or D is 1, N is 6. 6 is A and N. 1 would be equal to D. Fine. So I is 3 and D is 1. So B and D are 3, 4. Sorry, B and R are 3, 4. In some order, we'll have to still figure that out. Okay. So far, so good. We've made inferences about H, S, E, T, D, O, I, A and N, both are 6, F is 7. Right. Now it's probably time for us to, we've already made inferences about T and E, because T, H, E, T and E, there's no H here, H is 4, T and E are 5 and 8. With that, we've made a further inference based on, one second, T and E are 5 and 8. Designated has 2 E's, only 1 8. So T is 8 and E is 5. This is E, 8 is T. Now let's go word by word. Let's look at peacock, P-E-A-C-O-C-K. We know O is 9. We know E is 5. A is 6. We don't know C, C, K and P. Right? So we have a 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9 here. 1, 9 goes away. 5 and 6 go away for E, A, O. P, C, C, K. P, C, C, K are 8, 8, 9, 9. Right? Remember, 9 goes with only 2 letters. Right? So 9 has to be C. Wonderful. Why has 9 to be C? If 9 were 8, sorry, if C were 8, then K and P would have to be 9. 9 would then have 3 letters. That's not possible. 9 has only 2 letters. So 9 has to be C. So P and K are 8 and 8. 8 would be T, P, K. Brilliant. We've got peacock completely covered. P-E-A-C-O-C-K is, we know, matches with this. Now let's think about designated. Let's go word by word. Designated, D-E-S-I-G-N-A-T-E-D. We know D is 1, E is 5, S is 5, I is 3, G we don't know, N is 6, A is 6, T is 8, E is 5, D is 1. If we reorder this, 1, 1, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, dash 8, or G, the missing letter should be 7. 7 is G. We already have 7 for O, 7 is F, sorry, 7 for F and 7 for G. Right? Now we go to national, N-A-T-I-O-N-A-L. N is 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. N is 6, A is 6. So 4 6s in a row in national. These 4 have been accounted for. I is 3. This 3 has been accounted for. O is 9. That means this 9 has been accounted for. T is 8. This has been accounted for. L has to be 1. Or 1 is D and L. Brilliant. Bird, we know B and R have to be 3 and 4. Everything else we've covered. B and R should be 3 and 4 in some order, but we do not know which is which. They occur only once. There's no B, no R anywhere else in this whole sequence. So B and R are 3 and 4 in some order. And so 3 could be B and R could be 4, or the other way around. With a number of letters, with no other clue to clarify this for us. Fine. Wonderful. We've got this far. Now let's go to the questions. What best can be concluded about the code for L? L is 1. The last thing that, one of the last things we inferred, L is 1. Done. What best can be concluded for the letter B? B is either 3 or 4. Done. How many digits can the complete list of letters associated with that digit be identified? 9 is O and C, that is done. 8 is TCK, that is done. Fine. 1 is not done. 2 is far from done. 2 is not available. 3 is not done. 4 is not done. 5 is not done. 6 is not done. 7 is not done. So only 8 and 9, 2 letters. Choice 2. Which set of letters cannot be coded with the same digits? Fine. So S, U, V. S is 5. We cannot have S, U, V all being 5 because S and E are 5. S, E, U, V cannot all be 5 because there will be 4 letters. This is the answer choice. I want to think about whether these are possible. X, Y, Z. We've not allotted 2 to anything. X, Y, Z can all be 2. S, E, Z, that is possible. S and E are already 5. Z could also be 5. I, B, M. I is 3. B could be 3. M could be made to be 3. This is also possible. So these 3 are possible. The first one is not possible because S and E are already 5. We cannot have U and V also to be 5. There will become 4 letters for 5 and that doesn't work. This is a lovely set. And I looked at this set. I think I solved this in the exam. Been such a long time that I don't remember very clearly. If I'd be screaming at myself if I didn't try this because some of the answers just jump out for this one. The sitter of a set. And so the following table represents the addition of 2 6-digit numbers given in the first and second rows, while the sum was given in the third row. In the representation, each of the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 has been coded with one letter among A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K. No I going till K, with distinct letters representing distinct digits. Anytime you have 2 6-digit numbers adding up to a 7-digit number, it makes our life super easy. But the first digit of the 7-digit number has to be 1. Think about it. You're adding even 9999 with 9999. It's got to be 1 something. 10,000 plus 10,000 is 20,000. If you're adding 2 3-digit numbers to get a 4-digit number, 4-digit number has to start with 1. 2 4-digit numbers to get a 5-digit number, 5-digit number has to start with 1. Very simple rule. Or A is 1. So this is 1, 1, this is 1, this is 1. Slew of ones. And so that makes life simple, delicious, easy. This is 1. So wonderful. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. F plus F is 1. F 0 0 0 works. 1 1 2 2 2 4 3 3 6 4 4 8 5 5 0 6 6 2 7 7 4. None of that works. Or we've got F also. We've just got two letters. But hey, think about this. We've got a giant portion of this grid completely filled because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 A's and 1, 2, 3, 4 F's. So 6-digit, 6-digit, 7-digit. There are 19, of which we've got 10. We're more than halfway through, just cracking 2 letters. And those 2 just screamed at us. And so there's one more here. This should also be 0. 1 plus 0 gives us something. It cannot be the same. They stand for distinct digits. So there's got to be 1 carried over here. This is 2. Wonderful. This is as easy as it gets. And so now A is 1, J is something, G is something. H plus H is an even number. So if it had been a carryover, it would have become odd. So there's no carryover. So H plus H is not having a carryover. H plus H ends in 0, or H plus H should have been 10. We have 5 plus 5, 10, 0, and a 1 carried over. And so 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus something should give us 1 with 1 carried over. So this number is 9. We are practically through. A is 1. F is 0. H is 5. B is 9. C is 2. What is G plus K equal to? There's a 1 here. G plus K should be 11. And so it is 11. It could be 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 4 and 7, 5 and 6. All 4 are possible right now, but maybe we can eliminate some straight away. C is 2, so G and K cannot be 2. H is 5, So G and K cannot be 5. So can we eliminate 3, 8, 4, 7 also? I'm not able to find a 3, 8 and a 4, 7. And so I'm just going step by step. This got filled everything out. This is 9, 5, 5, 1J. Everything is good so far. So G plus K is 11. So there'll be 1 carried over. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus J is G. We know that G and K are 3, 8 and 4, 7. 2, 9 and 5, 6 have been ruled out already. 3, 8 and 4, 7. So this could be 3. This could be 8. Or it could be 8 and 3. 4, 7, 7, 4. If G were 3, then J would have to be 2. Hang on. Wait a second. J cannot be 2 because C is already 2. So this possibility is ruled out. If G were 8, suppose we say G is 8, then we can say K is 3, and we can say J is 7. Nothing is wrong here. 8, 3, 7 works. G could be 4, in which case K would be 7, and J would be 3. This is also fine. And there's no other letter that is 7 or 3. Or G could be 7, in which case K would be 4, J would be 6. 6 is also not taken by anything. We have so far only nailed 0, 1, 2, 5, 9. So the numbers that are remaining are 6, 7, 8, 3, 4. So 8, 3, 7 is possible. 4, 7, 3 is possible. 7, 4, 6 is possible. What was not possible was 3, 8, 2. So that we have eliminated. So all 3 are possible now. Brilliant. So this is not possible. 4, 3, 7 is possible. 8, 7, 3 is possible. 7, 6, 4 is possible. And we've got most of this. And we've got a couple of 3 combinations for GKJ. Let's go and answer this question. Which digit of the letter A represent? A is 1. We've done this. It's the first thing that we inferred. What does B represent? B is 9. Only then the carryover idea works. Again, a very easy question. 3, 4, 6, 7 cannot be represented by the letter D. And so, remember, we've got A is 1, F is 0, B is 9, C is 2. And so we've got these 4, 1, 0, 9, 2. Fine. And we've got H is 5. G, K, J is saying this could be 4, 7, 3. Or it could be 8, 3, 7. Or it could be 7, 4, 6. Wonderful. Which among the digits 3, 4, 6 and 7 cannot be represented by the letter D? Right, so think about this. In all of these sequences, here, here and here, what features for sure? That means G, K, J has to be one of those 3. The other letter D cannot be that number. 7 sits here, here and here. Or 7 is not equal to D. D cannot be 7. D could be 3, in which case G, K, J could be this. D could be 4, in which case G, K, J could be this. D could be 6, in which case G, K, J could be this or this. But D cannot be 7. One of G, K or J has to be 7, or the answer is 7. Which among the following digits 4, 6, 7, 8 cannot be represented by the letter G? We had 4 and 7, 7, 4. We had 3, 8, 8, 3. 6 is not even possible. If this were 6, this has to be 5. H is 5. So K cannot be 5. G cannot be 6. 6 is the answer. G cannot be 6. So 6, it is not possible for it to be 6. Game show. I'm going to read this. I hope you've all read this. Take some time to read it, try it, and then go on to the solution. A new game show on TV has 100 boxes numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way till 100 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3 all the way till 100. Each containing a mystery prize. The prizes are items of type A, B, C, D, E, F and so on in decreasing order of value. The most expensive item is type A. A is the best, which is a diamond ring. Fantastic. And there's exactly one of these. So A is one of these. You told the number of items at least doubles as you move to the next type. So number of B's should be greater than or equal to 2 times number of A's. Number of C's be greater than or equal to 2 times number of B's. For example, there will be at least as many items of type B as of type A, at least twice as many of type C as of type B and so on. There is no particular order in which the prices are placed in the boxes. What does that mean? This could have a C, a D, E, and then an A, and then C again, and so on. It's not like A is placed in the first box, and then B's, and then C's. None of that. Right? Wonderful. So far, so good. I've got a hang of this. 100 boxes, different types. Let's go on. That's it. There's nothing more. We just have to go to these questions. What is the minimum number of types of different prices? There is one of A. So the minimum number cannot be 1. There be some number of B, C, D. Minimum possible number of different types of prices. There are 100 prices to be given of. A should be 1. B should be greater than or equal to 2. C should be greater than or equal to 2B. What is the extreme scenario? B should be 2. And then C goes up from there. But that will be for many types of prices. Not minimum, I have 1A. And then I have 99B. There's no condition that's contradicted here. This could work. The minimum possible number of different types of prices is 2. Just A and B. 1 diamond ring and 99 of B's. Whatever that is, that will work. That satisfies all the conditions given and we are through. What is the maximum possible number of different types of prices? So we have an A, B, C, D. We want to go as far as possible. We have 1 of A. That means each of these has to be as low as possible. That means B should be 2. B is greater than or equal to 2, but make it 2. C should be greater than or equal to 4, make it 4. D should be 8. E should be 16. F should be 32. And so on. So forth. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. G, but we have only 100 to give away. Remember, these 2 add up to 3, lot of room. These 3 add up to 7. These 4 add up to 15. These 5 add up to 31. Up till F we add, we'll get 63. So there's no room for a G. And so there's no room for a G because G has to be at least 64. That's not possible. But if we had only 6 till F, we could have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. These add up to 31 and 69. A, B, C, D, E, F. This is a possibility. 1, 2, 4, 8, 69 will add up to 100. All conditions are satisfied. This is at least twice this, at least twice, at least twice, at least twice, way more than twice. And so with 6 it is possible. There is simply no room for the 7th one. Maximum possible number of different types is 6. Go to the next one. Which of the following is not possible? There are exactly 30 items of type B. A is 1. B 30. C should be greater than or equal to 60. Twice of this. 1 plus 30 is 31. C could be 69, adding up to 100. This is possible. I'm going to create scenarios where each of these is possible. And then we'll just say, we'll look at the one thing that is not possible, work from there. 75 items of type E. So A is 1, B, C, D, E. E is 75. So these 4 should add up to 25. And let's put this as 2. This is 5. 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 17 is 25. Twice, more than twice, more than twice, more than twice. This again is possible. Look at C. A, B, C, D. A is 1. B is 60. These two add up to 61. These two should add up to 39. Totally there are 100. And so this should be at least twice as much as this. So C is less than 30. C is greater than or equal to 2B. Wonderful. So I'm going to put C as less than 30, but the total is 39. C cannot come to be 20, then the B will only be 19. So I'm going to put it very close to 30. Maybe put 28 in here, 11 in here. 1 plus 11, 12, 40, 60. More than twice, more than twice, more than twice. This works. Right, C should be less than or equal to 30 technically. Doesn't matter if we found something less than 30. This is also possible. This is telling us that this should not be possible. Let's check this out. A, B, C. This is 45. This is 1. These two add up to 46. So 54 remaining. That cannot be here. So there should be a D also. But if there were a D, D should be greater than or equal to 90. That's not possible. So this one is impossible. 90 plus 45 is 135. We need a total of only 100. So C cannot be 45. E can be 75. D can be 60. B can be 30. But C being 45 is impossible. And wonderful question. You ask for the type of item in box 45. Instead of being given a direct answer, you're told that there are 31 items of the same type as box 45 in boxes 1 to 44. 1, 2, 3 till 44. The 31 of your type. Then there is box 45. And 43 items of the same type as box 45 in boxes 46 to 50. Close. We have a total of 43 items here. So let's say this is type X. Type X, there are 31 plus 43 plus 1, because this is also of type X. So type X has 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1, 5, 3 plus 4, 7. 75 items of the same type we have. That much we know. We know that A is 1. We know that this is not B. Maybe this is C. Maybe it is D, etc., etc., etc. What are the maximum number of different types of items? And we've already done something very similar to this a couple of questions ago. So this can be 75. B cannot be 75. C can be 75. That much we know. I want to think about, we know the maximum total is 6. And that will happen when you have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Right? I want to think about 1 and 75. We want remaining is only 24. We want to fill the gaps with these 4 gaps with 24 added up. 2, 4, 8, 16 are the smallest numbers we can put in. That is not possible. So 6 is ruled out. Now let's look at with 5. So A, B, C, D, E. E is 75. So B, C, D should add up to 24. Put a 2 here. A 4 here. 2 plus 4, 6. We want 24. Put an 18 here. So 1, 2, 4, 18, 75. The total is 100. All conditions are satisfied. With 6 numbers thrown in, with 6 different types thrown in, it is not possible. With 5, we've got one possibility. 5 is the correct answer.
You see this, 16 patients in a hospital must undergo a blood test for a disease. It is known that exactly one of them has the disease. The hospital has only 8 testing kits and has decided to pool blood samples of patients into 8 vials for the test. The patients are numbered 1 through 16 and the vials are labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. The following table shows the vials into which each patient's blood sample is distributed. It took me a while to understand this. So we take blood from patient number, We take blood from patient number 1 and put it into vials B, D, F and H. Patient number 10 and put it into A, D, F and G. And then distribute all of these, test those 8 vials. And so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are the vials. Suppose it says that, say B turns out positive. And so
So we look at those vial and say, okay, B is positive. It means whichever patient's blood has gone into B, any one of them is likely to be is likely to have tested positive. So if 8 vials have B in it, then 8 patients' blood has gone into B, then we can say one of these 8 is unwell. Then we'll use other things to eliminate whatever the process is, right? If a patient has the disease, then each vial containing his or her blood sample will test positive. Fine. So if patient 1 has the disease, B, D, F, and H, all 4 will be positive. If a vial tests positive, one of the patients whose blood samples were mixed in the vial has the disease. One of the patients. If a vial tests negative, then none of the patients whose blood samples were negative. So I can say the positive test, the negative test is more powerful than the positive test. What do I mean by that? If vial B tests negative, fine, that means anything with a B in it, we can remove it. All of these have B, none of these patients have the disease. Straight away we can remove. Suppose we say vial B is positive, then 1 to 8, any patient could have it. If vial B is negative, we remove all of these. So we can just say, look, vial B is negative. Any patient whose blood has gone into vial B, that patient does not have the disease. Straight away we can eliminate that. Right? So interesting. Let's look at the questions from now on. Suppose vial C tests positive and vials A, E, and H test negative. Which patient has the disease? A, E, and H test negative. All of these have A in it. They're all out. So they're all out. So A is negative, so all of these are out. Now let's come here. E and H are also negative. So, but vial C tests positive. So these 4 don't have a C in it that we can remove straight away. B, D, F, H, B, D, F, G, B, D, E, H, B, D, E, G. C tests positive. E and H turn negative. So this has a H in it. So this is out. This has an E in it. This is out. This has E in it. This is out. C positive. A, E, H negative. So patient number 6 has C and no A, E, H. So patient number 6 is a possibility and patient number 6 is the only possibility. Patient number 6 blood has gone into C and not in A, E, and H. So when we eliminated A, E, and H, C did not get eliminated and definitely turned out positive. So patient number 6 is the answer. Right. Lovely. Let's go to the next one. Suppose vial A tests positive and vial D and G test negative. A tests positive, D and G test negative. So A tests positive. All of these don't have A. We can ignore this chunk. A tests positive and D and G test negative. So within A, we'll remove everything that has D or G. And this has a D, this is out. This has D and G, this is out. D, this is out. D and G, this is out. This has a G, this is out. Again, G, this is out. So we have ACFH and ACEH, still 2 possibility. And so it could be in patient 13 or patient 15. If A tests positive, D and G test negative, we take that information. We've eliminated every patient that tested for D and G. We took into account only patient that tested that had A in it, that had their blood go into A. So this whole chunk is out. 6 out of those 8 are out. But we still have 2 possibilities because ACFH and ACEH, both patient 13 and 15 who have given their bloods into these, both of them will satisfy this condition, A positive and no D and G. Okay. Now we need to identify this. That means A, C and H are common. We need to look at while F or E, we test F and F turns out positive, then it's patient 13. F turns out negative, will be patient 15. And the other way around. So between these two, the distinguishing factor is F and E. So we'll need to look at the vial, either vial F or vial E. Is there one of the choices? Yep, F is not there, E is there. That's what we look at. We test vial E, if we test positive, then it's patient 15. If we test negative, then it's patient 13. Lovely. Which of the following combinations of test results is not possible? Vial B positive, C, F and H negative. B positive, that's one of these that we can completely eliminate. C, F and H negative. F and H negative. So it can't be this. It can't be this. There's an F, there's a H. Yep, this is possible. B positive, CFH negative. So if patient 4 had the disease, then B would be positive and CFH would be negative because patient 4's blood is not going into CF and H. So that is very much possible. A and E positive, C and D negative. A is only here. A and E positive. So A and E positive would be this and this. And within that, C and D negative. D is negative, so this is not, these two are not possible. C is also negative, these two are not possible. Nothing is possible. We don't have a patient where if results A and D come positive and C and D are negative, we cannot match anything here. A and D being included and C and D not included, not there. This is A and D, this is A and D, A and D, A and D. Here the two D's, two C's. So if patient 11 were positive, then A and D would turn positive, but D and H would also be positive. So D would also be positive. So that's not 11, not 12, not 15, not 16. So this is not possible. Look at next. Whilst B and D positive, F and H negative. B and D positive, F and H negative. So this is out, this is out, this is out. But it could be this again. Patient number 4, if patient number 4 has the disease, then B and D would be positive. F and H would be negative. Patient 4's blood is not going into F and H. That works. Whilst A and G positive, D and D negative. A and G. So A and G positive. So A and G together are present here, 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 here. Within that, D and D negative. D negative. So this is not possible. D and D is not possible. This is not possible, but this is possible. Patient 14, if he had the disease, then A and G would have been positive, D and D would have been negative. So this much is also positive. Result B, this combination of results is impossible. There is no patient for whom A and D would have been positive. If he or she had the disease, A and D being positive and C and D negative, that's an impossible set of results. Lovely. Let's go to the next one. Suppose one of the lab assistants accidentally mixed two patients' blood samples before they were distributed to the vials. Which of the following correctly represents a set of all possible numbers of positive test results out of the 8 vials? It took me a long time to understand this. So, I didn't understand this question. When it said 5, 6, 7, 8, I was looking at patient 5, 6, 7, 8. I said, what is being tested? What is being missed out? Which vial is not tested? I didn't get the question at all. The question says, set of all possible numbers of positive test results. That is, how many positive results could be there totally? Right? So, two accidentally mixed patients, 2 patients' blood samples. So 1 and 2 could have been mixed, 3 and 4 could have been mixed, 11 and 7, 14 could have been mixed. Right? If 1 and 2 were mixed together, I'm just going to take a hypothetical. 1 and 2 are mixed together. Then 1 goes into BDFH, 2 goes into BDFG. That means if 1 and 2 are mixed together and that one of them has positive, and so then BDFHG, 5 vials would test positive. That's the number of vials that test positive is 5. So if 1 and 2 were mixed together and that were positive, then 5 could positive. So 5 is a possible number of vials that test positive. Lovely. Now if 1 and 2 were mixed together and say vial number 16, patient number 16, not vial number 16, patient number 16 had the disease, then ACEG 4 vials would come true. Basically not mixed. The mixture is not happening for the one who has the disease. It is happening for the one who does not have the disease. Then 4 vials will test positive. All of these have 4 each. So 4 is possible, 5 is possible. 4 and 5 are possible. Let's look at this. But these choices are hinting, even we can get a sense that even 6 might be possible. What do I mean by 6? Let's say 1 and 3. Right? 1 and 3 get mixed and one of them has the illness. Then BDFH and E with BDH are common. Again, 5 vials will have that. So not 1 and 3. Let's go one step further. 1 and 4. BDFH, BDEG or BDFHEG. 6 vials could come out positive if 1 and 4 were mixed. 1 and 4 and one of them having the illness, that would be 6. Lovely. So let's go step by step. 5 vials is very much possible. 4 vials testing positive, 1 and 2 are mixed up, and someone else, 16 test positive. That is possible. 5 is very much possible. If patients 1 and 2 were mixed up, we would have B, D, F, G, and H. One of them has the illness. Right? 6 is possible, 1 and 4. For 6, 1 and 4 could be mixed together. 7, let's think about 7. We need to mix such that there is 3 not overlapping, only 1 common. So there's a B here, D, F, H, C, E, G. D, F, H here, C, E, G here. So if 1 and 8 were mixed up and one of them had the illness, then B, D, F, H, C, E, G will all test positive. So 1 and 8 and one of them being unwell would be a mixture of all of these. Is 8 vials possible? All 8 vials test positive. Is there a scenario where there is no overlap? Think about this. All of these have B, all of these have A. So let's select one from here and one from there. This is CEG, this is DFH that we've already seen. BDFH and ACEG. If 1 and 16 get mixed up and one of them has the illness, then BDFHACEG will all test positive. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all 8 would test positive. So 8 would test positive if 1 and 16 were mixed up and one of them had the illness. That means, depending on the situation, we could have 4 vials testing positive, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of these are possible. So the number of vials that could test positive could be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All 5 possibilities exist. 4 vials could be positive, 5 vials could be positive, 6, 7, and 8. I found this tricky because I didn't get the question. I didn't read it properly. And so this sentence is very tricky. Set of all possible numbers of positive test results out of the 8 vials. So how many of these vials turn out a positive result? The number of vials, not the patient number, not the vial name, the number of vials that come out positive. That's what this is about. I didn't get that at all. It took me a while. It was just shooting in the dark. I just simply didn't get the question. So I had to read it twice, thrice to understand what the question was about and then take some help. So read question once, twice, thrice over. It's a very crucial habit. A journal plans to publish 18 research papers written by 8 authors, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H in 4 issues, January, April, July, and October. Each of the research papers was written by exactly one of the 8 authors, which is nice. 5 papers were scheduled in each of the first 2 issues, 4 each of the last 2 issues, 5, 5, 4, 4, adding up to 18. Every author wrote at least 1 paper and at most 3 papers. So 8 into 1 is 8, 8 into 3 is 24, total is 18. So more should have written 3 and 2. More than 2. The total number of papers written by A, D, G, and H was double the total number of papers written by the other 4 authors. So A, D, G, H, other 4 is B, C, E, F. So this is 2x, this is x, total is 18, 3x is 6, 18, x is 6, 12 and 6, which is very nice because A, D, G and H, they together write 12. Nobody could have written more than 3. So A, D, G, H, right? 3, 3, 3, 3. A nice inference straight away. Brilliant. 4 of the authors were from India and 2 each were from Japan and China. 4, 2, 2, India, Japan, China. Each author belonged to exactly one of the 3 areas: manufacturing, automation, logistics. So we have authors categorized by country, authors categorized by divisions or departments, areas. 4 of the authors were from logistics and 2 were from automation. That means 2 more were from manufacturing. As per the journal policy, none of the authors could have more than 1 paper in any issue of the journal. So A cannot publish 3 articles in the same issue. Lovely. And then a bunch of conditions. F, an Indian author from the logistics area, wrote only 1 paper. It was scheduled in the October issue. A was from automation and did not have a paper scheduled in the October issue. This is going to be tricky to remember all of this and process this. So we need to capture data in some form. Saying Jan, April, July, October. And manufacturing, automation, logistics, China, Japan, India, 224, 224. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, how many did each of them write? The first inference that we could draw was A, D, G, and H together contribute 12 articles or 12 papers. So nobody can do more than 3. So A, D, G, H account for 3, 3, 3, 3. The other 4 should add up to 6. So B, C, E, F together is 6. So it is either 1, 1, 2, 2 or 1, 1, 1, 3. One of these combinations. Each of them should have at least 1. 1, 1, 1, 1 adds up to 4. The 2 extra could be either 2, 2 or all set to the same guy 1, 1, 1, 3. But this, the 12 is 3, 3, 3, 3. That life makes simpler for us. So 3, 3, 3, 3 for A, D, G and H. Brilliant. Now let's build on this. F, an Indian author from logistics area, wrote only one paper, which is nice. It was scheduled in the October issue. F is in logistics, F is from India, and F sits in October. A was from automation, which is nice, and did not have a paper scheduled in the October issue. Not in October. A has published 3 papers. Nothing in October. This is brilliant. That means A should feature in all 3. A. Right? And A was from automation. None of the Indian authors were from manufacturing, and none of the Japanese or Chinese authors were from automation. So all automation should be from India. So this is automation, should be A. A should sit here also. Right? Let's go step by step. A was from automation and did not have a paper scheduled in the October issue. So A should be here, here and here. C and D, both Chinese authors from different areas, had the same number of papers scheduled. Further, E had papers scheduled in consecutive issues of the journal, but C did not. So we know A, D, G, H. So we know B, C, E, F. They add up to 6. C and D are both Chinese authors. Let's put both C and D here. With that, the China part is complete. They are from different areas. That means the Chinese and Japanese authors are not in automation. That means there should be one from manufacturing, one from logistics, C and D. Further, E had papers scheduled in consecutive issues, but C did not. First inference, E should have had 2 articles published. C should also have 2 to publish. So at least 2. So it should be 2, 2, 1, 1. And so C had 2, E had 2. E had in consecutive issues, C had in not consecutive. C did not have in consecutive issues. B from the logistics area had a paper scheduled in the April issue. B is in logistics and had something scheduled in April. Nice. Lovely. Let's build on this. None of the Japanese or Chinese authors were from the automation area. That means all automation professors, authors are from India. That means this should be A. Okay. A and H were from different countries, but had their papers scheduled in exactly the same issue. This is massive because we have A, we can put H straight away. B and G belong to the same country, but none of their papers were scheduled in the same issue. We know B published only one, and that was in April. So G should have published in Jan, July and October. So we have AHG, ABH, AHG, FG. So we need to have only one more here, only 2 more here, 2 and 2 here. Right? A, D, H, G each published 3. We can make an inference about D, then we are through, because that will fill 3 slots. It will be massively useful. D, a Japanese author from the manufacturing area. So this is D and this is D. Did not have a paper scheduled in the July issue. Brilliant. Nothing in July. So D would come here, D would come here, D would come here. So we need to have only one more. We've accounted for B and F. We've accounted for A, D, H, G. We are worrying only about C and D. Right? Brilliant. So we need to have 2 C's and 2 E's, but otherwise this is completely filled. We still need to figure this out, but this is filled apart from 2 C's and 2 E's. Let's go and attack this. Now we come back here. C and D, both Chinese authors from different areas, had the same number of papers scheduled. E had papers scheduled in consecutive issues. It would have been Jan and April, April and July, July and October. But C did not. If E had Jan and April, C should have been in these two, not possible. If E had July and October, C should have been in these two, not possible. Our life is simple. E has in April and July, C has in Jan and October. Brilliant. Now C and H belong to different areas. C and E belong to different areas. These two different areas are manufacturing and logistics. C and H, different areas. We don't know where H is from. So we still have to worry about H, which area he is from, which division he is from, which country he is from. B and G belong to the same country. C and A and H belong to different countries. Lovely. So this is massively useful. I'm going to attack this next. B and G belong to the same country. BG cannot be in China. China is accounted for. They cannot be in Japan. Only two. Or BG sit here. Brilliant. So FABG, the Indian contingent, is completely filled. This is CE. So Japan should be DH. Now C and H come from different areas. Both cannot be automation. C and D come from different areas. So we don't know. C and D have to be logistics and manufacturing. C and H have to be logistics and manufacturing. H is from Japan. Yep, between logistics and manufacturing we need to have that. So E and H have to be together. C has to be in the other part. That's maybe something that we can infer. BG, same country. So we fill this. So H is Japanese, we fill that. So H goes into the logistics part because between C and D, one has to be in manufacturing, one has to be in logistics. So there's no room for manufacturing for H. So H has to go here into logistics. So final piece of the jigsaw, we need to have C and D going into manufacturing and logistics. So A, B, D is accounted for. So we have C and D sitting here. So G should be here. Is Indian, that goes here. A, G, F, B go here, G go here. C and D have to be in one of these two, either here or here. C and H belong to different areas. H is here, so C should be here, E should be here. An absolutely delightful set. Jan, April, July, October, 5544, we've completed that. This we've completed the grid, how many papers each one has published. This we've done who's from manufacturing, who's from automation, who's from logistics. We have broken China, Japan, India. We've got the entire grid. Hopefully all the questions should kind of take care of themselves. Let's attack them. What is the correct sequence of number of papers written by B, C, E, G? B is 1, C is 2, E is 2, G is 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. Done. Fine. Nice. How many papers were written by Indian authors? Indian authors are F, B, G, A. F is 1, B is 1, G is 3, A is 3. 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3, which makes 8. Which of the following statements must be true? Every issue had at least one paper by authors from each country. Every issue had at most 2 papers from authors from each area. Look at this. Had at least one paper from authors from each country. So countries is F, B, G, A. I think India will feature in all. That's going to be there. Lots. So China, CE. CE are there in everything. DH. D is here. H and D are here. G is here. Sorry, H is here. D is here. So every issue has at least one paper by authors from each country. Okay, verified. So statement A is true. Statement B, every issue had at most 2 papers by authors from each area. So this has to be false. We can find 3 papers from authors from the same area. Anyway, true. So I'm going to attack logistics. Logistics has FBHE. If there's any issue which has FBHE or More than 2 of these, then we are through. BHE are sitting here in the April issue. So in the April issue, there are 3 papers from logistics. So at most 2 papers, that is wrong. This is wrong. This is true. So only statement A is correct. That's the right answer. Which of the following statements is false? Every issue had exactly 1 paper by a Chinese author. Chinese authors are C and E, C, E, E, C, exactly 1. We did a full round of this, so this is true. Every issue had at least 1 paper by authors from automation area. Automation is A and G. A, G. Yeah, this is also true. The first 3 have A, the 4th one has G. The others will also have G, but A and G definitely, so it's also true. Every issue had exactly 2 papers by authors from logistics. Logistics is FBH. This has BH and E. So April 5 issue has 3 papers from logistics, BH and E. So this is not true. That's the right answer. Every issue had exactly 2 papers by Indian authors, FBHE. That's interesting. Had exactly 2 papers by Indian authors. Indian authors FBGA, B and A, FBGA, G and A, FBGA, G and A, F and G. Yeah, that is true. I was surprised that I'm surprised that is true. It seemed like a complicated thing for exactly 2 authors, but this is also true. The only statement that is false is statement C. Which of the following statements is false? Exactly 1 paper by an author from logistics area in the October issue. October issue, logistics is FBHE. Only F is sitting here. This seems to be true. There was exactly 1 paper by an author from manufacturing area in the April issue. Manufacturing is D and C. April issue has E and D. So exactly 1 paper from manufacturing in the April issue. That is not correct because D and C, D and C in April issue, this is correct. Not D and D, D and C. So only D is featuring there. So this is also true. Exactly 2 papers by authors from manufacturing area in the July issue. July issue has AHGE. Manufacturing is D and C. Nothing here. So this one is false. Exactly 2 papers by authors from manufacturing area in the January issue. DC, yeah, this is also true. A, B and D are 2. C is incorrect. C says exactly 2 papers from manufacturing area in the July issue. The July issue does not have D or C. 0 papers from manufacturing. That is the incorrect one. Choice C. Which of the following is the correct sequence of number of papers by authors from automation, manufacturing and logistic area respectively? Automation is A and G. A and G is 3 plus 3, 6. So automation is 6. Then comes manufacturing. Manufacturing is D and C. D is 3, C is 2, 5. Then comes logistics. That should be the remaining. Logistics is FBHE 1, 1, 3, 3, 8. Sorry. FBHE 1, 1, 3, 2. 1, 1, 3, 2, 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2, 7. Adding up to 18. This seems like it will work. 6, 5, 7 is the right answer. Chango game. The game of Chango is a game played where 2 people play against each other. One of them wins and the other loses. There is no draws. There are no drawn Chango games. 12 players participate in a Chango championship. They were divided into 4 groups. Group A is Aruna, Azul and Arif. Group B, Brinda, Bridge and Biju. Group C, Chitra, Chetan and Chavi. And Group D, Dipen, Donna and Deb. So A, B, C, D, at least the names are consistent, starting with A, B, C, D. But I hate this because I have to write down Aruna, Azul and Arif, all starting with A. I will get confused between the names. I should be very careful. Players within each group had a distinct rank going into the championship. The players have not been listed necessarily according to their ranks, that usual pattern. In the group stage of the game, the 2nd and 3rd ranked players play against each other. The winner of that game plays against the 1st ranked player of the group. The winner of this 2nd game is considered as the winner of the group and enters a semi-final. So if there are Z1, Z2, Z3, if Z1 is the top rank, these 2 will play. Whoever wins will play with Z1. Whoever wins will qualify for the semi-final. The winners from groups A and B play against each other in the semi-final, while the winners from C and D play against each other in the other semi-final. The winners of the two semi-finals play against each other in the final to decide the winner of the championship. Nice. It is known that Chitra did not win the championship, which is nice. Which is not nice for Chitra. Simple fact. Aruna did not play against Arif. Bridge did not play against Brinda. Did not play. I don't like it. Aruna did not play against Arif. Aruna versus Arif was not a match. It doesn't help us draw any inference powerfully from there. We cannot say neither of them was number one, because Aruna could have been number one. Arif could have played with Azur and lost. So this will hold good. So it's not giving us much. Aruna, Biju, Chitra and Dipen played 3 games each. Azul and Chetan played 2 games each, and the remaining played 1 game each. This is a big giveaway. These 4 people played 3 games each. From a group, you could play 1 game. If you're the seeded player, you'll play 1 game. The number 1 player, you'll play 1 game. Or 2 games. There are 1 group game or 2 group games. If you're playing 3 games, then you have come outside the group, or you have won the group and you have taken part in the semi-finals. So Aruna, Biju, Chitra and Dipen, automatically we know that they have played the semi-finals. They've gone to the next round, which is huge. Aruna, Biju, Chitra and Dipen played 3 games each. Within a group, you can play against 2 and 3 could play a game, and then the winner will play against 1. So within the group, the top ranked player will play 1 game. The guy who wins the first round will play 2 games. The guy who loses the first round will play 1 game. Right? So if you play 3 games, then you play the game outside of your group, which automatically means the semi-finals are Aruna, Biju, Chitra and Dipen. Right. Azul and Chetan played 2 games each. Azul played 2 and Chetan played 2, which is very interesting. They did not qualify. That means they got eliminated. Or I can straight away say Azul played with Arif, won that match, qualified to play against Aruna, lost that match. So I know in this group we had an Azul versus Arif, which Azul won, and then an Azul versus Aruna, that Aruna won. Likewise, Chetan had a very similar issue. He played 2 games. That means Chetan versus Chavi, Chetan won, and Chetan versus Chitra, that Chitra won. Which is nice, beautiful. This also tells us that in this group, Aruna was a seeded player, number 1 ranked, and this group, Chitra was ranked number 1. Brilliant. So we've carved out 2 group games, very nicely. Aruna is number 1, Chitra is number 1, Azul versus Arif, which Azul won, Azul versus Aruna, that Aruna won, Chetan versus Chavi, that Chetan won, Chetan versus Chitra, that Chitra won. Now, Aruna has played 3 games, Chitra has played 3 games. What does that tell us? Aruna plays 1 game here with Azul, the second game with Biju. If she loses that, she is going home. Or Aruna versus Biju, Aruna has won. Chitra versus Dipen, Chitra has won. The finals has been played between Aruna and Chitra, which is also very interesting, because now this comes into play. Chitra did not win the championship. That means Aruna versus Chitra, the winner in that is Aruna, not Chitra. Right? Now let's build on this. Let's come back to this one we have not really used. Aruna did not play against Arif. That we have already used, simple inference. We know that Bridge did not play against Brinda. Biju qualified to win. So Biju won a match. Bridge did not play against Brinda. So Biju is not number 1. Because he qualified, but the other 2 did not play each other. So Bridge did not play against Brinda. These two did not play against each other. If Biju had been number one, then Brinda and Bridge would have played against each other. That would have been the first match. We know Biju did not finish first. Now let's look at this. Chitra and Dipen. Biju and Dipen also played 3 games each. Dipen is also not number one because he loses in the semi-finals. So Dipen plays against Donna or Deb, wins that match, plays against the other, wins that match, goes on to play against Chitra, loses that match, played 3 matches and not gone to the finals. And so Arun and Chitra are semi-finals which are ranked number 1. Biju and Dipen were semi-finals who were not originally ranked number 1 in their pots. Lovely. We made a bunch of inferences. Finals is between Aruna and Chitra, and Aruna won that one. Lovely. Who among the following is definitely not ranked first in his or her group? Aruna was ranked first, Chitra was ranked first. Dipen was not ranked first. Bridge could have been first. We don't know that. And Dipen is not first. That's the answer. Choice C. If Dipen had been first, to qualify for the semi-final, he would have had to play only 1 game. Semi-final would have been his 2nd game, but he ended up playing 3 games. That means he played 1 here and then 1 more and then gone. Which of the following pairs must have played against each other? Azul and Biju, no, Azul didn't qualify. Donna and Chetan, no, Donna didn't qualify. Deb and Donna. Dipen was not number 1. So one of these two was number 1. Dipen could have played against Donna, won, and then played against Deb. So Donna versus Deb need not have happened. Need not have happened. Right? Chitra and Dipen, yeah, that definitely happened. This is the answer. Choice D. Chitra and Dipen was 1 semi-final. Who won the championship? Aruna won the championship. Who among the following did not play against Chitra in the championship? Chitra played against Chetan, Dipen and Aruna. Chetan, Dipen and Aruna. She did not play against Biju. Ravi works in an online food delivery company. After each delivery, customers rate Ravi on each of 4 parameters: behavior, packaging, hygiene and timeliness, on a scale from 1 to 9. If the total of the 4 rating points is 25 or more, then Ravi gets a bonus of 20 for that delivery. Additionally, a customer may or may not give Ravi a tip. The customer gives a tip, it is either 30 or 50. Nice. One day, Ravi made 4 deliveries, one to each of Atal, Bihari, Chirag and Deepak, A, B, C, D, which is nice, and received a total of 120 in bonus and tips, which is nice. We've got 20, 20, or 30, 30, 50, 50, 20, 20, 50, some combination. He did not get both the bonus and a tip from the same customer, which is very powerful, which is very useful. So that means you could have got 20, 20, 20, some number of 20s, some number of 30s or 50s. Totally 4 payments he got. He never got both from the same customer. So he gets some 4 of these and they add up to 120. And so 50, 50, 20, 0. You get 2 tips of 50, 50, 120 and 0. That's one. Or 50 and 30, 20 and 20. 80 plus 40, 120. So 2 bonuses and 2 tips. So he never got both from the same guy. He did not get both bonus and a tip from the same customer. So he couldn't have had one customer giving him a 30 tip and from whose on basis of which delivery he gets a 20 rupee bonus. That's not happening. Out of the 4 deliveries, he gets some bonuses, some tips, never both for any given delivery. Right? The following additional facts are also known. Timeliness, Ravi received 21 points. 3 of the customers gave him the same rating points, etc., etc., etc. I'm not going to read all of this because before I put it in a table. I know that there are 4 parameters and I know there are 4 customers. So I have a 4x4 grid that I'll have to total up. I'll have to fill in. I'm going to get some things about the total number of points for the parameter, total number of points for the delivery, and then tip, bonus, etc. I'm going to capture all of this. Okay, hey, nice. Atal, Bihari, Chirag and Deepak. Behavior, packaging, hygiene, timeliness. Does he get a tip? Does he get a bonus? How much is the tip? That's what we're going to think about. Right? Lovely. So he should have got 2 bonus days and 2 tip days. It means 2 days he totaled. You get a bonus if you get 25 points or more. So on 2 days is total, 2 deliveries is total added up to 25 or more. On 2, the total added up to less than 25, 24 or lesser. Nice. In timeliness, Ravi received a total of 21 points. 3 of the customers gave him the same rating points. Atal gave higher rating points than Bihari and Chirag. For timeliness, or 3 are equal. Atal is higher than B and C. So B and C should be the equal ones. Atal is not equal to this. Or this could be X, X, X and Y, adding up to 21, which is very nice. 3x plus y is 21, which is nice. That means if put x as 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, y has to be 18, that's not possible. X is 2, not possible. 3, not possible. X could be 4, 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 9, that is possible. X could be 5, 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15, y is 6, that's possible. We're also told that Atal gave higher rating points, so y is greater than x. Fine, so y, x, x, x. This could be 4, this could be 9, this could be 5, this could be 6. Other possibilities we don't have to worry about, only 2. X and y are 9, 4, 6, 5. Ravi received distinct rating points in packaging from 4 customers, adding up to 29 points. This totals up to 29. 29 seems a nice large number. And so I'm going to go top down. And so 9, 8, 7, 6. What does it add up to? 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6. 13, 21, 30. The maximum possible 4 distinct numbers. You receive distinct rating points in packaging, and the total is 29. The maximum possible is 30. So one of these should be one less than that. I cannot have 8876, 9776, they'll all have overlaps. Or the 4 numbers here are 9875. So the numbers here have got to be 9875 in some order. 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 is 30. I need one less than 30. If I do 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5, my total will be only 26. It will crash. 8765 is very small. 9876 adds up to 30. That's the highest possible with distinct. At 29, one lesser. One of these numbers should be one lesser. 9, 8 or 7 being one lesser, we'll have not distinct. 9875 is the only combination. We don't know who got 9, who gave 9, who gave 8, who gave 7, but we know 9875 are the numbers. Okay. Similarly, Ravi received distinct rating points in hygiene from 4 customers, adding up to 26. This is also distinct, adding up to 26. Very interesting. So 4 numbers add up to 26. 8765. 8 plus 7, 15, 20, 26. 8765 is a possibility. That's a possibility with 8 in it. I was hoping that this won't work. So we'll have to say there has to be at least 1 9 or 1 9 sitting there, not at least 1 9 because they're distinct. That didn't work. 8765 adds up to 26. Nice. We'll have to hold on to that, hang on to that. But these 4 adds up to 26. Chirag gave the same rating points for packaging and hygiene. So packaging, let's say R, hygiene, let's say R. Same equal number he gave. Let's fill this in. A, B, R, D, P, Q, R, S. A, B, R, D are distinct. P, Q, R, S are distinct. These add up to 29. These add up to 26. The 29 ones we know are 9, 8, 7, 5 in some order. The 26 one we don't know anything about. Right? Done. We've just made those inferences 9, 8, 7, 5. Among the 4 customers, Bihari gave the highest rating points in packaging and Chirag gave the highest rating points in hygiene. Highest rating points in packaging for Bihari was the highest in packaging, the highest is this. Packaging we know has to be 9875 or this is 9. Chirag gave the highest rating points in hygiene. In hygiene, R is the highest. This is beautiful. Because if this is 9, R cannot be 9. So in this packaging, in this hygiene thing, everything is less than 9. Now we already made one inference. These add up to 26. We said, hey, 8765 adds up to 26. We're hoping that it would be, that we would have to establish that there is a 9. That didn't happen. 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 is the largest possible non-9 numbers, distinct numbers. They add up to 26. These 4 add up to 26. These 4 do not have a 9. So brilliant. So this has to be 98765 in some order. That means R is 8. This is 8. These 2 have to be 7 and 5. These 3 have to be 7, 6 and 5 in some order. Right? Brilliant. So but we've got 9, 8 and 8 already in the bag. Everyone rated Ravi between 5 and 7 in behavior. Unique maximum and minimum ratings in this parameter were given by Atal and Deepak respectively. Unique maximum, unique minimum between 5 and 7, that is, he's got 5, 6 and 7. Or Atal has given unique maximum 7. Deepak has given unique minimum 5. These two are 6, 6. 7, 6, 6, 5. Brilliant. If the customers are ranked based on ratings given by them in individual parameter, then Atal's rank based on packaging is the same as that based on hygiene. Brilliant. This is also true for Deepak. Or for packaging, this is the first rank. This is the second rank. Atal has got third or fourth. Then for hygiene also, he's got third or fourth. For Deepak also, that is the same. Or if Atal has got third, then A should be 7, D should be 5. Here also it should have been third, 8, 7, 6, 5. P should be 6. Nice. Deepak should be fourth in this list also. So it is 9, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5. So it should be fourth here. S should be 5. This is one combination where Atal ranks third in both of these and Deepak ranks fourth in both of these. Now, Atal could rank fourth. That means A would be 5, which means D would be 9, 8, 7, 5, 7. Atal is fourth. Hygiene also should be fourth. P should be 5. This 8, 7, 6, 5. Deepak should have ranked third. 8, 7, 6. S should be 6. This is another possibility. In this possibility, Atal ranks third, Deepak ranks fourth. In this possibility, Atal ranks fourth, Deepak ranks third in both of these. Right? Lovely. Which also means that in hygiene and in packaging, 1 and 2 belong to B and C. 9, 8, 8, 7. This should be 7. That much we have in the bag. Let's put this in. So we either have 7, 6, 5, 5 or 5, 5, 7, 6. One of these two combinations. Right? In either case, this is 7. And both possibilities exist. Let's keep both going. This is 7. Now let's build on this. We've already made an inference here. This is either 9, 4, 4, 4 or 6, 5, 5, 5. One of these two combinations work for sure. Now let's attack bonuses. We know this is 7. Let's count C, A, B, C, D. A has lots of gaps. B, 6 plus 9, 15, 15 plus 7, 22. 22 is in the bag. X could be 4 also. Get a bonus. C, 6 plus 8, 14, 14 plus 8, 22. Already 22 in. You'll also get a bonus. D, 5 in the bag. D and S could be 7 and 6, in which case it will add up to 18. Even if it is 5, it is only 23. D definitely does not get bonus. B and C get bonuses. A should not get bonus. 2 bonuses and 2 tips. That much we know. Lovely. So now once we attack the bonuses, we know Ravi definitely got a bonus here. And then we know Ravi gets a bonus here also because we know Q is 7. These 3 add up to 22. No matter what this is, he gets a bonus here. These 2 should not be a bonus. Now let's split the possibilities based on this or this combo and see if one of those 2 eliminates itself. So what do we fill here at this point? We can put this is 5, this is 5, in which case 9, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5. We fill it like this. Or we could put 9, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, and both of these being 5. 2 possibilities. Let's fill both of them in. 7, 6 and 5, 5 here, or 5, 5 and 7, 6 here. Right? In any case, 6 plus 9, 15 plus 7, 22. This will be a bonus. 6 plus, this is a bonus. 6 plus 9, 7, 22 plus x, this is also a bonus. Right? And all we need to do is look at these 2 possibilities and say, hey, in which case will Atal A not get a bonus? Because if A gets a bonus, then our total 120 won't add up. 7, 7, 6, 14 plus 6, 20. Y could be 9 or Y could be 9 or 6. 7, 7, 14 plus 6, 20. 29 will fetch a bonus. 26 will also fetch a bonus. Or this is just not possible. Only this is possible. Now within this, 7, 5, 5, 17. If it were 9, that will go to 26. That will get a bonus. So this can't be 9. The Y has to be 6. 5, 5, 5. This does not get a bonus because it adds up to 10, 17, 23. Or we know that only this combination works for Atal and Deepak, packaging and hygiene. And in this combination, Y should be 6 and X should be 5. Only one possibility. We jot that down and then we are through. What is the minimum rating that Ravi received from any customer in any parameter? 5 is the minimum. 5. There's no force. 5 is the answer. Done. The complete list of customers who gave the maximum total rating points to Ravi. Total 5, 5, 10, 17, 23. Total is 23. 15, 22, 27. 14, 22, 27. 5, 7, 12, 18, 23. 27 and 23s. The maximum is 27. B and C, Bihari and Chirag. What rating did Atal give on timeliness? 6 plus 3, 5s. Got that. What best can be concluded about the tip amount given by Deepak? Deepak did not, Ravi did not get a tip, did not get a bonus for delivering to Deepak. So he got a tip for sure. But the tip amount, it could be 30 or 50, 50 or 30. He gets 150 and 130. Deepak could have given 30 or 50, either 30 or 50. In which parameter did Atal give the maximum rating points for Ravi? Maximum in behavior. What rating did Deepak give on packaging? Deepak on packaging is 7. 3 reviewers, Amal, Bimal and Komal are tasked with selecting questions from a pool of 13 questions. Questions can be created by external subject matter experts, SMEs, or by one of the 3 reviewers. Each of the reviewers either approves or disapproves the question that is shown to them. Their decisions lead to eventual acceptance or rejection of the question in the manner described below. Each of them looks at a question and says yes or no, and then there is a complex algorithm finally whether the question gets accepted or not. A question is created by an SME. It is reviewed first by Amal, then by Bimal. If both approve, then the question is accepted and is not reviewed by Komal. Both are yes, then it is not reviewed by Komal. If both disapprove the question, it is rejected and is not reviewed by Komal. So Komal comes only when it's a tiebreaker, I'm assuming. Let's see. If one of them approves the question and the other disapproves it, then the question is reviewed by Komal. Then the question is accepted only if she approves it. So if it's a tie, she comes in and then she takes the final decision. A question created by one of the reviewers is decided upon by the other 2. If a question is created by Amal, then it is first reviewed by Bimal. If Bimal approves the question, then it is accepted. Otherwise, it is reviewed by Komal. The question is then accepted only if Komal approves it. If Bimal approves, it's in. If Bimal doesn't approve, it has another chance. If Komal could approve, then it goes through. The question is then accepted only if Komal approves it. A similar process is followed for the questions created by Bimal, whose questions are first reviewed by Komal and then by Amal, only if Komal disapproves it. Questions created by Komal are first reviewed by Amal and then, if required, by Bimal. The cycle: Amal, Bimal and Komal, Bimal, Komal and Amal, Komal, Amal and Bimal. The following facts are known about the review process after its completion. So this is a process and then the results. Q2, Q6, Q9, Q11 and Q12 were rejected and the other questions were accepted. Amal reviewed Q2, Q3, Q4, Q6, Q8, Q10, Q11 and Q13. Bimal reviewed Q2, Q4, Q6 through Q9. What each of them reviewed. I'm not going to read all of that. We're sensing how we're going to grab this data. I can't remember all of this. Q1 to Q13 we're going to put who reviewed. Amal has reviewed a bunch, Bimal has reviewed a bunch, Komal has reviewed a bunch. We're going to say what has been accepted, what has been rejected, and then we'll make inferences after that. Lovely. Questions 1 to 13. Q2, Q6, Q9, Q11 and Q12 were rejected. Q2 was rejected. Q6, Q9, Q11 and Q12. They were all rejected and then the others were accepted. Amal reviewed only Q2, Q3, Q4. So Amal, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q6, Q8, Q10, Q11 and Q13. Bimal reviewed Q2, Q4, Q6, Q2, Q4, Q6 through Q9. So Q7, Q8, Q9, Q12 and Q13. Komal reviewed only Q1 through Q5. Komal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Q7, Q8. Nice. Q9, Q11 and Q12. We put in who's reviewed, what are that, all of this. We filled all of the data in. Let's have a look at this and see if we can make any inferences at all. And so the first one was approved after having been reviewed by, sorry, I've written it as Kamal, this is Komal. Don't worry about it. I've written it as Kamal, it's Komal. Some typo, I've just copied everything down. So don't worry about it. Komal has reviewed and approved it, but this must have been created by Bimal. Komal reviews, approves straight away. So no second process. This one's reviewed by Amal, Bimal and Komal. So to start with, one of them has not created it. If any one is created, only the other two can review. So if all three have reviewed, then this has been created by an SME or subject matter expert. So you know that there's one more here. This is also by a subject matter expert. All three have reviewed it. One more here. It's also by a subject matter expert. Right? Created by a subject matter expert. Nothing else anywhere. Lovely. So we can fill that in. So we can also fill in who created what. So this one, the first one, if you say this is created by, first one was created by Bimal. Second one, reviewed by Amal and Kamal. It could have been created by Bimal, not by SME. SME means it would have been Amal and Bimal, then only it will go to Komal. So this again was created by Komal, rejected it, and then Amal accepted it. This is approved by Komal, so B, and then approved straight away. Amal, Bimal, then rejected. Either Komal has created it or SME has created it. If an SME has created it, then it has been rejected by Amal and Bimal. If Komal has created it, then it has been rejected by Amal, then by Bimal. Both have rejected it, either case. Okay, then Amal rejects, goes to Bimal, Bimal also rejects. SME, both reject, both are possible. Bimal and Kamal, this should have been created by Amal. Bimal rejects it, then Komal accepts it. It will go to Komal only if Bimal has rejected it. This one is SME. We don't know, this is split, but Komal has approved it. This goes to SME, this is split, but Komal has rejected it. This goes to SME, this is split, but Komal has approved it. Question number 9. has been created by Amal. Because Bimal and Komal have reviewed it. Bimal has rejected it, and so too has Komal. So Amal has approved it. This is created by Komal. Amal and Komal have reviewed it. That means must have been created by Bimal. Komal rejects it. It goes to Amal. Amal also rejected. Last one reviewed by Bimal and Komal. Must have been created by Amal. And then rejected by Bimal, rejected by Komal. This one created by Komal. First reviewed by Amal, rejected. Then reviewed by Bimal, in which case it is accepted because the final state is accepted. So with this grid, we can figure out pretty much who created each of those questions with some allowance. This could have been SME or K, but Amal and Bimal alone have reviewed. So the only instance of only Amal and Bimal have reviewed, or only Amal and Bimal have reviewed. All three, only Amal and Bimal. All three, only Amal, no Bimal. This is Amal and Bimal. Okay, this could have been SME or K. Sorry, this has been accepted. Just have to be careful. This could have been K or SME. So we cannot make this inference. Either both could have approved it, in which case it gets approved directly. If it had been created by K, then rejected by Amal, and then accepted by Bimal. So two possibilities exist. This is SME or K. If Amal and Bimal are the only ones who have reviewed it, it would have been SME or created by K. Both are possible. Lovely. So just to recap, if SMEs have created it, both approve, then it gets approved. Both reject, then it gets rejected. If one approves and one rejects, then it goes to K. And then K takes a decision. If Amal creates, then it goes to Bimal, reviews it first. If Bimal approves, it gets approved. If Bimal rejects, it goes to Komal. If Bimal creates it, Komal takes the first decision. If Komal disapproves, then it comes to Amal. If Komal creates it, then Amal looks at it. If Amal rejects it, then it comes to Bimal. Right? So just a quick recap of the mechanism there. Amal, Bimal, Komal, these three should have been SME. After this, we fill step by step. We know B's and A's very clearly. These two are SME or K. Both possibilities exist. If this were SME, it would have been rejected by both of them. If it were K, then it would have been rejected by Amal first and then Bimal. Both are rejecting. Here, if this were SME, then accepted by both of them. If it is K, rejected by Amal and then accepted by Bimal. Okay. Lovely. We've got this whole thing. Let's go to the question. How many questions were definitely created by Amal? Let's see this. This one, question number 7 is definitely created by Amal. Question number 9 is definitely created by Amal. 12 is definitely created by Amal. We know it for everything except for SME or K in 2 cases. 11 out of the 13 we know who created. These two are SME or K. Amal, how many has he created? He has created 3. How many were definitely created by Komal? So this one is definitely from Komal. Then nothing else. It could be 3, it could be 1, it could be 2. These two are ambiguous. One has definitely been created by Komal. That is this one. How many questions were definitely created by the SMEs? 1, 2, 3. These 3. The other 2 could have been SME or Komal. That ambiguity is there. The ones that were reviewed by all 3 are definitely created by an SME. Ones that were reviewed by only Amal and Bimal could be SME or K. Both are possible. So 3 were created by the SMEs for sure. How many questions were definitely disapproved by Bimal? Let's see, only the ones where Bimal has reviewed we need to check. So this one, we don't know. One of these two has approved, the other has disapproved. That's why we went there. So Bimal could have approved it. That we are not sure. This one of these is approved, the other has disapproved. Bimal could have approved, Amal could have disapproved, and then it would have gone to Komal. This again, we cannot be sure. This one, been rejected. If it had been created by an SME, both should have rejected it. If it had been created by K, again both should have rejected it. So Bimal has definitely rejected this one. Question number 6. This one, Amal has created, have been reviewed by Bimal. Because Bimal rejects it, it goes to Komal. So definitely Bimal has rejected this also. This one, once again, it is Amal and Bimal. One yes and one no takes us to Komal. It's been created an SME, we don't know for sure. This one, Bimal and Komal. Only if Bimal rejects it, will it go to Komal. So this has definitely been rejected. This one, Bimal and Komal. Amal has created it, it's been rejected. Both of them have rejected. Definitely Bimal has rejected. Last one, been approved. If it had been created by an SME, then both should have approved it. If it had been created by K, Amal rejects and Bimal approves. Definitely Bimal approves. How many have been definitely disapproved by Bimal? 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer should be 4. The approval ratio of a reviewer is the ratio of the number of questions she approved to the number of questions she reviewed. Which option best describes Amal's approval ratio? How much has they approved by the number she has reviewed? Approval ratio. So Amal has created a bunch of questions. Let's see which ones we know for sure that she has rejected. This one could have been rejected by one of them, not by both. It would have been Amal saying yes, Bimal saying no. This we can't be sure. Second one, Bimal has created, Amal has definitely approved. This is a definite yes. This don't know. This one, Amal, Bimal, there is an ambiguity. One of them has approved, the other has disapproved. Therefore, it has gone to Komal. So we don't know this. This scenario, SME or K, but getting rejected. If it is SME, both of them should have rejected. So Amal has rejected. If it is K, again Amal should have rejected. Should have gone to Bimal. Bimal should have also get rejected. So this is a no. This one, SME has been approved finally. So Komal has approved it. Between these two, there's one yes and one no. So we don't know for sure. This Amal, Komal has created, Amal has approved straight away. This is a definite yes. This one, Bimal has created it and then it has been disapproved. So it's gone to Komal first, who said no. It's gone to Amal then. Amal has also said no. This is also a no. Final thing, SME or K, it has been approved. If it were SME, both of them should have approved it. If it were K, then Amal has said no and then Bimal has approved. So Amal, we don't know. Bimal has definitely approved this. Amal, we don't know. So Amal has reviewed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions, of which is definitely rejected 2, definitely accepted 2, is approved 2 for sure, rejected 2 for sure. There are 4 that could have gone either way. 2 yeses sitting there, 2 no's sitting there, 4 that have gone either way. Which option best describes Amal's approval ratio? His approval ratio could be 2 out of 8 or 6 out of 8. There are 2 ticks for sure and 2 being rejected for sure. I mean 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks, 5 ticks or 6 ticks. 2 out of 8 to 6 out of 8. All of these are possible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8. All of them are possible. So finally the question says, what is the ratio? 2 out of 8 to 6 out of 8. 0.25 to 0.75. That is the range we are looking for. How many questions created by Amal or Bimal were disapproved by at least one of the other reviewers? This is created by Bimal. This is approved. So not that. This is created by Bimal and been approved, but Komal has disproved it. So this one will count. Question number 3 is disapproved by Komal before going to Amal. This one B, Komal approves it. So this one won't get counted. Straight away approved. This one is created by A. Bimal says no to this and then it goes to Komal. This one will get counted. It's created by SME, we can ignore. Amal has created it, goes to Bimal. Bimal says no and then Komal says no also. So this will get counted. Next one is K, ignore that. B, created by B, Komal says no and then Amal says no, both no. So this will get counted. Then created by A, goes to Bimal. Bimal says no, then Komal says no. This will also get counted. That we won't count. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question 3, 7, 9, 11, 12 have been created by A or B and been disapproved by at least one other reviewer. Javelin throws, a beautiful, delightful set. I must confess that I had a really tough time solving this. I had muddled up one of the data points. It's a beautiful set. It's very frightfully, it seems like it's light on information, but it carries a lot of depth. There's some nuances in math and simplifying that if you get it, then you get a kick out of it and it all falls in place miraculously well. But otherwise, it's a nice, challenging set. It took me a long time to solve this. Fine, let's attack this. Absolutely delightful set, but super tough. Super tough. The one thing that I didn't like about slot 3 was 3 sets were easy. You were walk through. You just look at them and write down the answer. And one was freakishly tough. I can totally imagine someone attempting the other 3 and getting 14 questions right without breaking sweat. Not without breaking sweat, but without being impossibly a genius and getting 14 correct like that. And someone else getting stuck in this for 25 minutes and scrambling 4 correct with equal levels of talent and skill. So that way I didn't like the slot. It heavily dependent on, okay, are you going to get mired in this or not? That's the one thing that's going to be the swing factor for this DILR. I don't like that. I don't like that one decision being so heavy. But hey, who am I to crib? I want to solve this question and enjoy solving that. 10 players, P1, P2, P3 till P10 competed in an international javelin throw event. The number after P of a player reflects his rank at the beginning of the event, with rank 1 going to the topmost player. Reasonably intuitive. There are 2 phases in the event. First one consists in runs 1, 2 and 3. Second phase 4, 5 and 6. A throw is measured in terms of the distance it covers in meters up to 1 decimal point. Only if a throw is a valid one, otherwise it's not counted. For an invalid throw, the distance is taken as 0. A player's score at the end of a round is the maximum distance of all his throws up to that round. If in round 1 you do 90, in round 2 you do 88, your score will be 90. Whatever is your best throw, that's taken as your throw. Players are re-ranked after every round based on their current scores. In case of a tie in scores, the player with a prevailing higher rank retains the higher rank. So, if I am at 90 and someone else is at 87, both of us throw 92, both will be 92, but the one who got from 90 to 92 will rank higher than the one who went from 87 to 92. This ranking determines the order in which the players go for their throws in the next round. Lovely. In each of the rounds in the first phase, that is round 1, 2, 3, the players throw in increasing order of their latest rank. The player ranked 1 at that point throws first, followed by the player ranked 2 at that point, and so on. So the first round, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, P10, they would have all thrown. Then the table would have been drawn. The best one gets the first stab at it. And the top 6 players at the end of first phase qualify for the second phase. Lovely. So 4 are kicked out. In each of the rounds in the second phase, the players throw in decreasing order of their latest rank. So there are 6 players. The one at the weakest will start. The strongest will end. So presumably, if you're at an advantage, you know what your target is exactly when you go there to grab your medals. Right? The player ranked 6 at that point throws first, followed by the player ranked 5 at that point, and so on. The players ranked 1, 2 and 3 at the end of the 6th round receive gold, silver and bronze medals respectively. Beautiful. All the valid throws of the event were of distinct distances. There's no tie. Thank God for that. The tables below show distances covered by all valid throws in the first and third round in the event. First round, all valid throws, P1, P3, P5, P6, P7, P9 are these numbers. This tells us that P2, P4, P8, P10 have thrown 0. Invalid throws. P2, P4, P8, P10. 4 are at 0. Nice. Distances covered by all valid throws in the third round. P1 is 88.6, P3 is 79, P9 is 81.4. 7 invalid throws, which is beautiful. All zeros. So we don't, maybe life is simpler there. So super. 6 numbers we know. The remaining 4 are 0. 3 numbers we know. The remaining 7 are 0. In round 1 and round 3, you know that. So at the beginning of round 1, the order would have been P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 till P10. After round 1, the best throw belongs to P7, I think. P7 would have started round 2. After 87.2, we have 86.4, P5. After this, we have 84.1, which is P9. 82.9, which is P1, 82.5, P6, and 81.5, P3. This would have been the sequence after round 1, followed by P2, P4, P8, P10. Those 4 sit after them in that order. And then round 2 they have thrown. Then round 3, there's 7 zeros and only these 3. Among the throws in the second round, only the last 2 were valid. Very nice. Only the last 2 were valid. So 8 are zeros, which is brilliant. Both the throws enable these players to qualify for the second phase, with one of them qualifying with the least score. None of these players won any medal. This is brilliant because in round 2, there were 2 valid throws and 8 zeros. In round 3, there were 3 valid zeros and valid throws and 7 zeros. They're going to pretty much tell us the entire dashboard at the end of round 3. We can get that because we know the 6 throws here at the top of the table. After this would have been P2, P4, P8, P10. P8 and P10 do well in round 2 and climb up the table. Once you have climbed up the table, they're going to be from last, they creep into the top 6 at the end of round 2 because they qualify. And they're not the ones who have thrown a legitimate round 3, so they're straight away into the top 6. At the end of round 3, there's some change perhaps, and then 4 guys get kicked out, 6 guys remain. So super useful. If a player throws first in a round and he was also the last among the players in the current round to throw in the previous round, then the player is set to get a double. First now, I stood last. I was last, now I'm throwing first. Then you get a double. In each round of the second phase, exactly 1 player improved his score. Each of these improvements was by the same amount. Round 4, round 5, round 6. They might have thrown a valid throw, but scores improved only for 1 person in each one. So if you've got the table, only 1 moves in each round. Only 1 improvement was there in each round. The gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds respectively. 1 medal winner improved his score in the 4th round. 1 medal winner improved in 4th round. Gold and bronze medalists in 5th and 6th round. So anyone who has improved has got a medal. If you're showing some improvement in rounds 4, 5, 6, you're a medal winner. Only medal winners have improved there. The difference between the final scores of the gold medalist and the silver medalist, as well as between the final score of the silver medalist and bronze medalist, was 1 meter. Finally, a number is thrown. So, X plus 1, X minus 1 for gold, silver and bronze. Brilliant. I'm going to attack this. Pre-round 1, this is the order. This is round 1, what has happened. So after round 1, the order is very simple. At the end of round 1, P7 will go first, then P5, then P9, then P1, P6, P3, P2, P4, P8, P10. At the end of round 1, this is sequence. These 4 being zeros. Brilliant. So let's consolidate that and put all this in. In round 2, these 2 get good scores. So these 2 will climb up. Say one gets X, one gets Y. These 2 climb up. And these 2 go to the bottom. P2 and P4 go to the bottom. P8 and P10 climb up. They will go above. They are not the ones showing improvement in round 3. So they don't just go into top 8, they go into the top 6. Right? So X and Y, but they are not here. These 2 scores go here into the top 6 somewhere. They have to sit in the top 6. Round 3, P1 scores an 88.6. It will no longer be 82.9. It will become 88.6, which is brilliant. P3 scores a 79. 79 is a valid throw, but doesn't change our table. It doesn't change the number on the table. P9 scores an 81.4. 81.4 is a valid throw, but doesn't change our table. 84.1 is his better throw. This is brilliant because we know now that P1 has 88.6, P7, P5, P9, P6, P3, we've got all of their scores. And 8 and 10 qualifiers. If we look at qualifiers, at the end of round 3, these two should have been in. They're in. We've already been told that. We've also been told that there are only 6 qualifiers. These two are definitely out. They put 3 invalid throws. They're out. So these two are in. Out of these 6, 4 should be in. The best standout performance is 88.6. That is in. After that comes 87.2. This is in. Then an 86.4. This is in. Then 84.1. This is in. These two are out. P6 and P3 get disqualified. So these two scores don't make the cut for phase 2, rounds 4, 5, 6. Brilliant. So which also means X and Y have both got greater than 82.5 because they qualify. They're above 82.5. P8 and P10 both have more than 82.5. They have qualified. P6 and P3, these two are out. Right? So 88.6, 87.2, 86.4, 84.1, those 4 are in. Between P8 and P10, both of them qualify. Both of them don't win medals. And one of them is the just last one to qualify. So you see this constraint, the description here. One of them qualifying with the least score. So between P8 and P10, both qualified. So both have got more than 82.5. Both have to sit on this table somewhere. But one of them sits right at the end. The other sits somewhere here. One of them sits right at the end. P8 or P10. The other one sits somewhere here. Could be right at the top, right in the middle, somewhere here, in between these two, in between these two, in between these two, somewhere there. And so one is right at the end. Brilliant. So far so good. The gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds. Respectively, one medal winner improved his score in the 4th round. The gold and bronze medalists improved in R5 and R6. One of the medal winners improved in the 4th round. We know one thing. P8 and P10 did not win a medal. And so the one inference we can make is P8, P10 did not improve. Which means one of them was the last. P8 or P10 was the last at the end of round 3. Did not improve his score at all. Would have been last at the end of round 4, last at the end of round 5, last at the end of round 6. At the end of round 3, he grabbed the last position. He was the last position. And end of round 4, round 5, round 6, he continues to be last. And one of them. The other sits somewhere here. His ranking could have got down if someone else has overtaken by improving, but his ranking has not improved. He's not put a better throw. Whatever they had, they're hanging on to it. They did not have an improvement. P8 and P10 did not improve. So they were not medal winners either. So gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds. One medal winner improved in the 4th round also. Only medal winners improved. P8 and P10 did not win a medal. They did not improve. So out of these 4, some have improved. In each round of the second phase, exactly one player improves his score. Each of these improvements was by the same amount. The difference between the final scores, the gold medalist and silver medalist, as well as the silver medalist and bronze medalist, was 1 meter. This is brilliant. And so think about this. There are 4 players. Imagine these on the number line. And say, look, I'm putting the number line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some 4 numbers like this. There are 3 improvements that we know. Gold and bronze medalist improved and one medal winner improved. This is 88.6, 87.2, 86.4, 84.1. If you notice, 88.6 to 87.2, this difference is 1.4. 87.2 to 86.4, this is 0.8. 86.4 to 84.1, this is 2.5. My diagram is not to scale, but don't mind that. The three improvements by x, x, x. Imagine that by the same amount. And so, none of these end in the same decimal point. But the three scores that are to end at the same decimal point. The three scores that are to end at the same decimal point. Why? Because the difference is exactly 1 meter. Three scores are at x, x plus 1, x minus 1. Same decimal point. So, all three could end in 88.6 or some 0.6, not 88.6. All three could end in some 0.2. All three could end in some 0.4, some 0.1, hypothetically. But if all of them show the same improvement, three people show the same improvement, 1.4 will become 1.4 plus x, 0.8 will become 0.8. The difference is going to remain the same. This will move to the right by x, this will move to the right, this will move to the right. If you improve some three of this by the same amount, the difference is going to remain the same. If I put a plus x here, a plus x here, and a plus x here, assume hypothetically, then this difference is going to remain the same. The only possibility is this difference. That difference might differ by 1, but this one won't differ by 1. So there is no possibility of getting 1 and 1 more 1. If three of these are shifted, any three, and so plus x plus x plus x. So these three are moving by the same amounts. That means this difference will be 1.8, this difference will be 2.5. No change in that. There's only one other difference. That difference could be 1, that difference could be 2, but nothing else will happen. We could add x here, here and here. We cannot get it. So there is a problem here. If we move three of the scores by x, we are never going to get that one difference in two places. It's simply not going to happen. Because if I move this, this and this, it's like three numbers are there. If I move all three by x, difference is going to remain the same. So this difference and this difference are going to be the same. So this difference could be 1. But there will be no difference of 2. This difference could overshoot it and be more than this by 1, more than that by 2. Whatever it is. We are not going to have difference of 1 and 2. So x plus 1, x minus 1. The decimal point should be the same. If I take this 87.2 to 89.6, I'm adding 2.4 to that. I have to add 2.4 here, I have to add 2.4 here. None of this will give me another 0.6. If I contrive and make this end with a 0.6, this won't end with a 0.6, this won't end with a 0.6. If I contrive and make this end with a 0.6, those two won't happen. They're all different decimal places. So what does that tell me? That tells me one beautiful thing. There are not three players who are improving. There are only two players who are improving. Two players are only improving. One player is improving twice over. So instead of 4 points being like this, what is actually happening? If you put them on a number line, if you put 4 points like this, one player improves and another player improves twice over. And therefore we have a medal, 3 medal winners. So there's one player who's showing 2 improvements and another player who's showing 1 improvement. So the gold and bronze medalist improved in rounds 5 and 6. The guy who improved in the 4th round is also either the gold medalist or the bronze medalist. One player has shown improvement in 2 rounds, another player in 1 round. Right? So out of these, one player has improved twice equal quantities, 2x, and another player has improved by x. Right? That brings us to a brilliant point. Let's assume P1 doesn't improve, hypothetically. That means out of these two, some 2 have improved. Any 2 have improved by how much ever quantity, P1 will be at worst 3rd. Right? If this has been 2x, this has been x, there can be a change in sequence, but P1 is getting a medal. Only 2 players have improved, it means P1 is getting a medal. If P1 has improved himself, he is definitely getting a medal. So the one thing we can conclude for sure, P1 has definitely got a medal. P8 and P10, they definitely don't get medals. P1 is definitely a medal winner. P1 is through. P1 is getting a medal. One of the scores for either gold, silver or bronze is 88.6. Done. That's a big breakthrough. It's a huge breakthrough because now we can say the medal winning scores could be 88.6, 87.6, 86.6 or 89.6, 88.6, 87.6, 90.6, 89.6, 88.6 are the medal winning scores end in 0.6. Brilliant. That's a big giveaway because now this guy, assuming he goes to a medal winning score, then he should have scored from 87.2 either a 0.4 or a 1.4 or a 2.4 or a 3.4 or a 4.4 or a 5.4 or a 6.4. No, not even 4, 5.4, 6.4. 87.6 takes him to 0.4, 1.4 or 2.4. 87.6, 88.6, 89.6. This guy 86.4 to 87.6. 1.2, 2.2, 3.2. This guy 84.1 to 87.6. 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. This ends in 0.5, this ends in 0.2, this ends in 0.4. Now what are we thinking? Very simple. One of these leaves is twice another. This cannot be twice. This is 3.5. There's no points to 5.75. 3.5 into 2 is 7. 4.5 into 2 is 9. 5.5 into 2 is 11. This is out. One of these numbers is twice another. You just scan the numbers. 1.2 into 2 is 2.4. Or we have a scenario where this guy has had a 1.2 advantage. This guy has got a 2.4 advantage. We are through. 87.2 plus 2.4 takes us to 89.6. 86.4 plus 1.2 takes us to 87.6. Or the scores are 89.6, 88.6, 87.6. And then we can go step by step and redraw this. So P7 finally wins by going to 89.6. He has gone to 88.4 in round 4 and 89.6 in round 5. P5 goes to 87.6. He puts 87.6 in round 6. He was 86.4 before that. Goes to 87.6. So 88.6 is P1. He doesn't improve his score and stays as silver. 89.6, 88.6, 87.6. Now P10 or P8, P8 or P10. This is greater than 82.5. This is less than 87.6. That much we know. It could be here also in this range. P8 or P10, P10 or P8. Right. Now let's look at this final thing. If a player throws first in a round and he was also the last to throw in the previous round, then the player is said to get a double. And last at the end of round 3 is P8 or P10. Right. And P8 or P10 would have thrown first in round 4. Last person throws first. Whoever was last at the end of round 3 last is P8 or P10. Round 4 first throw would have been P8 or P10, whoever this was. Again continues to be last. P5 they would have been first. Again continues to be last. P6 they would have been first. Whoever was last here does not improve his score, stays as it is. If they are 82.6, it stays as 82.6. Their best throw is what they threw in rounds 1, 2, 3 or round 2 to be precise. After that there will be no improvement in the score. Round 3, round 4, at the end of round 3, at the end of round 4, at the end of round 5, at the end of round 6, the same person has been last. That person would have thrown first in round 4, round 5 and round 6, all 3. Now that player would have got a double. What by this definition? The player throws first in a round and he was also the last to throw in the previous round, and the player is said to get a double. So this P8 or P10 would have got a double in round 4, round 5 and round 6, all 3. But there's only one player. We told 2 players got a double. That's confusing because one player has got a double multiple times, but 2 players have got a double. So we have to go back all the way to our round 1. At the table after round 1 is this. After round 1, P7 was first, P10 was last. After round 2, P4 was last. Here we throw in descending orders. So in round 2, P7 would have thrown first. In round 3, whoever was the first would have thrown first in round 3. So P10 was last at the end of round 1, could have climbed up in round 2. So in round 2, P10 has a good throw. He could have been such a good throw that P10 at the end of round 2, having been last at the beginning of round 2, by round 3 he goes all the way to first. He is the first to throw in round 3 in spite of having been last before that. So P10 was last and then he goes all the way to first throw, or P10 should have thrown in such a good number that having been last at the end of round 1 manages to be the first person throwing. That means from last to first, P10 is the only one who could have made this journey from last to first. So it's going to be in descending order. You've gone from last to first. The only person who could have done that is P10, or P10 goes from last to first. Here, P10 is the other person to have got the double. This step could not have been P8 because P8 would have been ranked higher than P10. So in one of the rounds, in the first phase, P10 would have got a double. That means in the second phase, P8 would have got a double. That means the last player to qualify should have been P8. And the person above would have been P10, sorry. P10 does not win a medal. So we know the P10 does not win a medal, but he's done a double. And P8 is the other person to have done a double. P8 has got the score. Really challenging set. Absolutely brilliant. Each sentence is loaded with some meaning, some funda somewhere sitting there. Now let's go to the question. Having gone this far, which two players got the double? P8 and P10. We know that. Nice. We just went through that. Who won the silver medal? P1 with 88.6. Done. Who threw the last javelin in the event? At the end of round 6 is this last javelin. That means the person at the end of round 5, whoever was first would have got thrown last. At the end of round 5, P7 would have been first. Because P7 throws 88.4 in round 4, 89.6 in round 5. So if you would have been first on the leaderboard at the end of round 5, you would have been the last to throw. And by the time he comes to throw, he knows he's already bagged the gold medal. So the last throw should have been by P7. What are the final score of the silver medalist? 88.6. That is there. Which of the following can be the final score of P8? P8 got more than 82.5. Less than 84.1, which was the last to qualify. He qualified, but he was the last. More than 82.5, less than 84.1. By how much did the gold medalist improve his score in meters in the second phase? Gold medalist went from 87.2 to 89.6. And so 1.2, 1.2, two improvements of 1.2, 2.4 meters. The management of a university hockey team was evaluating performance of 4 women players, Amla, Bimla, Harita and Sarita, for their possible selection in the university team for next year. For this purpose, the management is looking at the number of goals scored by them in the past 8 matches, numbered 1 through 8. Shouldn't be the only metric, but hey, this is a puzzle, not a real selection scenario. In the 8 matches, each of them had scored at least 1 goal. No 2 players had scored the same number of goals. 8 matches, 12 goals. Each person has scored at least 1 goal. And no 2 people have scored the same number of goals. Nice. The following facts are known about the goals scored by these 4 players. All the questions referred only to the goals scored by these 4 players. Other goals we don't care about. Only 1 goal was scored in every even numbered match. Match 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 1, 1, 1 goal. So 1, 3, 5, 7 should add up to 8 goals. Totally 12 goals. Harita scored more goals than Bimla. The highest goal scorer scored in exactly 3 matches, including match 4 and 8. Match 4, match 8 and 1 more. Bimla scored a goal in match 1 and in and one each in 3 other consecutive matches. So Bimla scored at least 4 goals and Harita scored more than Bimla. Lovely. I think this is very interesting because total goals is only 12 and each of them scored at least 1 goal. They have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. That adds up to 10. The least combination possible of distinct numbers. We know that no 2 players have scored the same number of goals. You need to go to 12. You can have 1, 2, 3, 6. 2 more there. Or 1, 2, 4, 5. 1 more here, 1 more here. I cannot do it without 1, 2. I have 1, just leave out 2. 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 12. So without 1 and 2, I cannot do it. 1 and 2 have to be there. 1 and 2 add up to 3 goals. The remaining 2 should add up to 6 goals. Either 3 and 6 or 4 and 5. Brilliant. So I know straight away that my goal combinations are 1, 2, 4, 5 or 1, 2, 3, 6. One of these two. I know Bimla scored at least 4 and Harita scored more than Bimla. That means Harita should have also scored more than 4 or at least 5. So 1, 2, 3, 6 is ruled out. It's only 1, 2, 4, 5. The number of goals scored, you've got that. Harita scored 5, Bimla scored 4. And Amla and Sarita have scored 1 and 2 in some order. Nice. An equal number of goals were scored in match 3 and match 7, which was different from the number of goals scored in match 1 or match 5. So for even numbers, we know 1, 1, 1, 1. Odd numbers, we know this one funda. The match with the highest number of goals was scored was unique and it was not match 5. The highest number is there in only 1. So we cannot have a scenario where number of goals the highest is 3. We have 3, 3 and 1, 2. The highest number was scored in only 1 game. Not the highest number was not scored in 2 games. I think we should capture the data in some form and then attack this. Right? So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. If you want to go to 12, it's either 1, 2, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 4, 5. 2 people have scored 1 and 2. We know Bimla scored 4 or more and Harita scored more than Bimla. Or we know Harita scored 5 and Bimla scored 4. Only 1 goal was scored in every even numbered match. So this is 1, 1, 1, 1. Harita scored more goals than Bimla. Bimla scored a goal in match 1 and 1 each in 3 consecutive matches. Match 1, Bimla scored 1 and some consecutive matches she scored 3 consecutive matches. So Bimla scored at least 4. That means Harita scored at least 5. So Bimla should have scored 4 totally. Harita should have scored 5 totally. And this is 1 and 2 in some order. The highest goal scorer scored in exactly 3 matches, including match 4 and 8. Highest goal scorer is Harita. So she scored in match 4, which is 1, and in match 8, 1. So in some other match, she should have scored the third match, she should have scored 3 goals. Harita alone scores 3 goals in some other match, right? Which means that some other match is not M2, some other match is not M6. In these 2 she has not scored. Harita scored 1 goal here, other 3 have not scored here. Harita scored 1 goal here, other 3 have not scored here. Nice. So Bimla scored 1 goal in match 1 and 3 goals in consecutive matches, which means we can fill this also. This is 1, this is 0, 0. We don't know these. Lovely. Harita scored 3 goals in some one match in either M1, M3, M5 or M7. One of those games, Harita scored 3 goals. That much we know. An equal number of goals were scored in match 3 and match 7. Nice. Equal number of goals in match 3 and match 7, which was different from the number of goals scored in either match 1 or match 5. So match 3 or match 7, equal number of goals, which is different from this. Match 1, 3, 5, 7 add up to 8. So match 3, match 7 could be 1 and 1. So match 1 and match 8 could add up to 6. Totally 8. Or match 3 and match 7 could be 2 and 2. Match 1 and match 5 could add up to 4. Right? Or match 3 and 7 could be 3 and 3, in which case 1 and 5 should add up to 2. Put together 2. So the number in which the highest number of goals was scored was unique. Highest number is unique. So if this were 2 and 2, it cannot be 2 and 2, it should be 3 and 1. This was 1 1, cannot be 1 1, 2 4 is possible, 4 being the highest number. 3 3 cannot be the highest number, so this is ruled out. So match 3 and match 7 could both be 1 or could both be 2. Cannot both be 3. That's not possible. Both being 3 3 is not possible, because then there will be 2 goals only remaining for the others. Lovely. So we can use that and say match 3 and match 7 could be both 1s or both 2s, and then fill out the remaining. Right? The match in which the highest number of goals scored was unique, and it was not match 5. So match 5 was not the one where the highest number of goals was scored. So match 1 should have been the one where the highest number of goals should have been scored here, and then we fill out the rest. Lovely. So we have 2 possibilities where the highest number M3 and M7 could both be 1. M3 could be 1. M7, sorry, oopsie, filling it in the wrong place. M3 could be 1. M3 could be 1 and M7 could be 1. Nice, in which case M1 and M5 would add up to 6. It's different from M1 or M5. It cannot be 1 and 5. It's going to be 5. It cannot be 1. That's ruled out. 3 3 is not possible. Be same. So it should be 2 4. The maximum number of goals scored was unique, and it was not match 5. So this should be 4. It should be 2. The other possibility is M3 and M7 being 2 each. M1 being 3 and M5 being 1. 2 different from M1 or M5, totally 3. So far so good, everything works nicely. So there are 2 possibilities here. The 2 equal ones could be 1 and 1 with 4 and 2, or the 2 equal ones could be 2 and 2 being 3 and 1 totally. Now we know that Harita has scored 3 goals in some one match. Look at the goal numbers: 4 1 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 1. Only this match could be 4. Okay, this will be 3. These 2 will be 0 0. This is 3 1 2 1 1 1 2 1. Nothing else. Only this has 3 goals. But if Harita were 3 here, this will add up to 4 goals, because Bimal has definitely scored. So this is ruled out. Not even possible. So we can ignore that and say this part is ruled out. I've written on the other way around. This part is ruled out. Only this works, because Harita could not have scored 3 goals in any game. Only that works. Right? So this is the possibility we have, which means Harita should have scored 3 here. This is 0. This is 0. Harita has not scored anywhere else. 0 0 0 0. Only 1 goal here. 0 0. Only 1 goal here. Only 1 goal here. So between M2, M3 and M5, Anita, Amla and Sarita have scored. Sarita and 2 and Amla and 1, or the other way around. We pretty much got exactly which games Bimal scored in, exactly which games Harita scored in. We filled everything out except these 3 between Amla and Sarita that goes through. Right? Lovely. How many goals were scored in match 7? Only 1 goal done, as we have found out. Which of the following is the correct sequence of goals scored in matches 1, 3, 5, 7? 1 is 4, 3 is 1, 5 is 2, 7 is 1, 4, 1, 2, 1. Done. Which of the following statements are true? Which of these is definitely true? Amla and Sarita never scored goals in the same match. Amla and Sarita have scored in M2, M3 and M5. Never in the same match, correct. If Amla scores only one goal. This is 1, 1, 1. This is true. This is true. Harita and Sarita never scored goals in the same match. Harita scores in 1, 4 and 8. And Sarita could have scored in 2, 3 or 5. This is also correct. Statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Both are true. Nice. Lovely. Which of the following statements are false? In every match, at least one player scored a goal. Yeah, there's no 0 here. We could have formally excluded it by saying M3 and M7 could have both been 0 and tried to fill the remaining 8. It doesn't work at all. So both, in no game is somebody scoring 0 goals. So in every match, at least one player scored a goal. This is true. No two players scored goals in the same number of matches. Bimla scored in 4 matches. Harita scored in 3 matches. Harita should have scored in 1. Yeah, this is also true. Number of matches, this is also true. Which of the following statements are false? Both are true. None of the statements is false. Choice A is the correct answer. If Harita scored goals in one more match as compared to Sarita, that means Harita scored in 3, Sarita would have scored in 2. Or that means Sarita should have scored in 2, 3 or 5, 2 of them. Amla scores 1 goal, Sarita scores 2. Which of the following statements are necessarily true? Amla scored goals in consecutive matches. No, Amla scores only 1 game. This is not true. Sarita scored goals in consecutive matches. No, not necessarily. She scored in M5 and M3, M2 and M5. Not true. Necessarily true. None of the statements. Neither needs to be true. First one is necessarily false.